Hello everyone, this is Logan589XP here. Today, finally, after almost a week now, since the last stream I did on 64, we're finally gonna do Sunshine. I've been putting this off for a couple of days due to wonky sleep schedules and doing other things, but even though it's like 10:53 p.m. right now, I figured, hey, better late than never. Besides, not that many people watch these live anyway, so it's not like it's that big of a deal anyway. But of course, if you are here watching this live, then thank you for being here. So yeah, if you were not here last time, whether you're watching this on Twitch or on the YouTube video when I inevitably upload it to YouTube, probably tomorrow, we'll see. You will know that we have already 100%ed Super Mario 64 in 3D All-Stars. It took us about 10 hours, like 5 hours per stream. I did 2 parts. Part 1 was 5 hours and part 2 is also 5 hours, so 10 hours across the 2 streams. So yeah, this one will probably take longer, but we'll see. Now, before we begin, I need to make something crystal clear. I am not going to do all the blue coins. I've never done them before. This is a childhood game right here. I got Super Mario Sunshine when I was like 7 in 2007. Yes, I was born in 2000. But so I've been playing this game for years and years and years and years and years and years. I played this game so much over my entire lifespan, pretty much. And not once did I ever get all the blue coins. I got a number of blue coins, maybe quite a bit of blue coins, but not enough blue coins to get all 120 shine sprites. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to get blue coins if I see them, but I'm not going to spend any of them. Because I know, from what I've read online, there are 240 of these, and there's apparently 30 in each level. And even though I'm probably not going to be able to figure out where all of them are without looking at a guide or something, I don't want to spend any because I want to know, well, one, because I think that'd be kind of cheating, but also because I want to know, okay, by the time we beat the game, you know, just the regular game, you know, Corona Mountain, Bowser fight, all that stuff, how many blue coins will I have? Like, let's say I have 100 blue coins, or 30 blue coins, and I'll probably have more than 30 by then. But you get the point, right? Like, I'm not, like, I'll collect the blue coins, but they're not going to be, but don't think about them that hard. I'm not really counting the blue coins, but I'm going to get them if I can get them. But I'm not going to go out of my way to get one. I'm not going for a 100% in terms of the blue coins. What I'm doing is I'm going to get everything else. So that's all the levels, all the secret shine sprites in Delfino Plaza, all that stuff. We're just not going to be getting any of the blue coin shine sprites. But I will be collecting blue coins. But not like in an attempt to get all of them. And I'm not going to spend any of them, because that'd be cheating, because I want to do everything else first. And I want to, you get the point. I'm dragging this out too long. Point is, I'm going to be getting blue coins, but they're not going to be a major focus, and I'm most likely not going to get 100% on the blue coins. Boom, done. Okay, let's start this thing. Here comes the Super Mario Galaxy 2 thing. That Nintendo decided should be in this collection, even though the game that it's from is not. Space Fantasy. I like how all the tracks I get on here are the Galaxy ones. Let's see. Last time I was going to play 64 in Japanese, but then I chickened out, so to speak, and I decided, you know what? I'm gonna play it at least at first in English. Although for the second stream, I did change it to wait a minute. A slightly different English. Wow, I'm a badass right there, aren't I? But Yeah, which, by the way, as far as I could tell, changed literally nothing. I figured that the only real difference was going to be, of course, you know, color would be color and stuff like that, but I didn't even see that anymore. I'm sure there's some piece of text in the game that says color, and then you'll see the U and stuff, but as far as I could tell, these two are exactly the same. Sunshine, because it has, like, more audio, although it still doesn't have that much. And when I say audio, I mean, like, voices. Like the opening cutscene and stuff. I'm just gonna... Okay, we're gonna do the... Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Like last time, we're gonna start off in English. But I'm probably gonna change... Once we get to the part where we're just playing the game and there's not really any more... Like, basically, the very beginning of the game, the Delfino Airstrip, we're gonna do that on English. But after that, I'm gonna change the language to something else. Probably Japanese, but we'll see what happens. Anyways. Let's go. So you want to know something that I'm honestly completely shocked at? There are people out there that don't like this game. And that by itself, it's like, okay, fair enough, not everyone's gonna like everything, but no. When I say they don't like this game, what I mean is they hate this game. There are people out there that hate this game, and I have no idea why. I mean, for years, I've seen people talk about how Sunshine's the black sheep of the franchise. I'm like, what are you talking about? This isn't Paper Mario. This isn't Pokemon. This isn't... What? There's no one hates this game. Everyone loves Sunshine. It's probably just that people don't like it as much as the other 3D Marios. If that's what you want to argue, I think that's fair enough. 64 has obviously got nostalgia. So Galaxy is my personal favorite Mario game of all time. Never mind 3D Mario, just Mario period. It's easily Galaxy without question, and it has, in my opinion, the best gaming soundtrack ever, period, not even just Nintendo. Galaxy 2, a good sequel to be sure, but in my opinion, not quite as good as the first one. Still very good, but it's just missing. I don't know what I want to say. The atmosphere. I don't know. It's missing something that the first game has, but it's still a very good game. 3D World obviously has a lot of fans. I'm like, personally, that's my quote hot take, if I could ever really have one for something like this, is that I'm not super big on 3D World's a good game, but it's not what I want from a 3D Mario. 3D Mario to me means the 64 Sunshine Galaxy style, or Odyssey for that record. Odyssey is not my favorite game in the franchise, as I already just stated before. Galaxy is my favorite, but I really liked that Odyssey returned to the you know, the collectathon roots, so to speak, or at least somewhat. Yeah, if anything, more so than ever, because because like, look how many moons they gave you to get. Although you could argue that maybe they gave you too many moons, but yeah, I'm surprised that there are people out there that think this game is like some wow, people don't like what are you talking about? This game is amazing. It's not perfect, and it's probably one of the harder ones, and it's probably like, here's the one thing everyone can agree on. The one thing everyone agrees on with this game is that this is like the hardest of the 3D Marios. Everyone agrees on that. And everyone agrees that the pachinko level is kind of screwed up. But it's mainly... Okay, well, I'm not going to talk. I'm going to explain when we get to that part. But anyways, I'm rambling. Point is, I'm surprised there are people out there that don't like this game. That like think this game sucks. Or they think that that people out there don't like this game. It's like, what? I've seen this for, again, the last couple of years. There seems to be this thing where it's like everyone loves Sunshine, but at the same time everyone's all like, oh, Sunshine's the black sheep. What are you talking about? I don't know. I don't get people. There's no boo 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 boo. Okay, I can't do voices. You know, the speaker thing isn't here because, of course, now that's just on the Switch itself. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. So I'm very curious how Nintendo upscaled these cutscenes from the compressed quality, because these aren't redone. Obviously, it's the same cutscenes, but they're also not like HD either. They're like, it's like Nintendo used like an an AI upscaler. Like they used like Waifu 2X or something. If you don't know what that is, yes, it's called Waifu 2X. Haha, funny. But in all seriousness, that it's Waifu 2X, despite its weird name, is a genuinely amazing tool for upscaling images. I've been using it on my YouTube videos for like at least a year now. I discovered this wonderful tool thanks to a little person called Taryn. And when I say Taryn, I am talking about, of course, Linus Tech Tips, Linus Media Group Taryn. He's kind of famous over in the Linus camp. He doesn't make as many appearances nowadays, but he has his own YouTube channel that he uploads videos to sometimes, and he's still obviously around editing videos. He even made a whole Adobe, he even made a whole Premiere Pro like thing. A whole Premiere Pro video. That was like 4 hours long. Like a Premiere Pro tutorial. That was like 4 hours long. But yeah, he made a video about Waifu 2X, like I want to say about a year ago, and I was like, holy Jesus, this program is awesome. I'm downloading this, even though it's like the name. I feel like the name is the thing that's gonna hold back that program from being taken seriously, because it's like, oh, it's called Waifu 2X. But the program is genuinely really awesome at upscaling images. It uses AI, and there's a video version of it too called Video 2X, and I feel like Nintendo used, obviously, a more professional version of something like that to upscale these cutscenes to be presentable on the Switch. Oh, I was gonna say, so I actually watched my brother play a bit of this yesterday, and okay, so let's look at this. Okay, this Mario icon I'm pretty sure is new. Maybe it's like redrawn, but it just looks new. I think I want to say that's new, but I don't know if it is. I mean, everything else looks, yeah, I guess, about what you'd expect. Of course, all the text and everything is 1080p now. That though, so that right there, that lag, ugh, that needs to be fixed. So here's the thing about Sunshine. So even though I haven't played Sunshine on 3D All-Stars yet, what I can definitely ascertain from what people have said about it is it definitely seems to have the most problems of all of the three. Because like 64, the only real problem with 64 is just that it's not 16:9, but 64 by itself functions and runs just fine. It runs just as fine as it always has. It's just, it's not upgraded enough. But in Galaxy, from what I've heard, is just fine as well. There's no problems with Galaxy. Galaxy is great. But Sunshine has had numerous technical problems. One being frame rate stability in certain levels. We'll see if that crops up for us. I'm sure it will. The infamous, we're going to see it here just in a second, actually. But there's a line, like the line technically isn't changed, it's just edited to remove mention of like the button itself. This happened in 64 as well, where at the end, Bowser's like, oh, you keep on using that L stick instead of control stick. But there was no voice lines for it, so it didn't really matter. And plus, it was a very minor change anyway. But on here, Flood, when he's doing his tutorial, he'll say, use the button instead of use the R button or ZR button. He like cuts off. Because, of course, as we all know, and this is probably the biggest change that Sunshine has, and this is something that everyone saw literally years away, because this was the #1 thing everyone would bring up every single time, like, Sunshine was brought up in terms of, hey, Sunshine HD. Everyone would say, yeah, but if they did that, the controls would have to be changed, because the triggers aren't analog. And that's something that I'm also very curious to see how it's going to feel like. My guess is it's going to be weird at first, but I'm going to get used to it, and then I won't really think about it too hard. But, yeah. Okay, anyways, I'm delaying this. Okay, let's go ahead and activate the cutscene. You're going to see the press the button edit and stuff like that. So here we go. But honestly, I think the upscale, like, it definitely looks like it's an AI upscaler. But it works. It works. It's not HD crisp, but it works. Mario Bros. Mario World. Super Mario 64. Ah, we didn't get the. He didn't throw him.
I am Flood, a flash liquidizer ultra dowsing device. I hope to be of assistance.
Alright, here we go.
Proceeding with user
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Use the button to
Use the button.
If you press the button,
If you press the button,
you can then use the stick to
then you can use the stick. Honestly, that one sounds more out of place. It's the use the stick. I think that one sounds weirder, honestly, than
and then press
the
button.
yeah, than the button one, honestly.
Your time.
Why did they? Okay, I can understand why they had to change the
Water can be sprayed.
I can understand why they had to change the L and R, the R button thing, because again, like none of the Switch controllers can do like the analog input thing. But like, why'd they get rid of the left stick thing? Like, I don't get it. What did it say? No. I'd have to load up the GameCube game again, but or load it up on the emulator or something. But like, okay, let's see what this is like. Okay, before we go any further, I want to figure out something even my brother couldn't figure out. How do you zoom in? Like, hold on. Okay, no, we're just gonna look. Running squirt, center camera, move Mario, pause screen, switch nozzles, pick up dive camera. Oh wait, hold on. That's what you do. You click in the stick. Okay, that might take... Honestly, that might take me more getting you... I mean, in a way, it's kind of more convenient, but at the same time, it's like I'm not used to that at all. So again, it's like the controls in Sunshine are probably one of the most notable changes. Most of it is just because, again, yeah, it's like... darn it, I didn't do that right. So yeah, we're just gonna have to get used to it. Oh god. I'm so not used to that. Like, once I'm zoomed in, it's actually fine. This is gonna take some time. This is gonna take some time. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna take some time. Okay, so honestly, you wanna know what the most notable change is? And I knew about this already, but like the camera is no longer inverted when you zoom in like that. That's kind of off-putting, but again, I'm sure I'll get used to it. Because apparently they did the same thing in 64, and I never really noticed it in 64. It wasn't a problem there. Although, of course, if I could just play with the GameCube controller, that'd be nice. But at the same time, that doesn't necessarily fix the problem.
Quite an unusual device. Is it some sort of pump?
I am Flood, glad to meet you.
It's a classic scene right there, Mario just in the corner.
Court is now in session.
Oh, I forget who it was, but someone made it was like an Ace Attorney version of this scene on YouTube. I don't remember who made it, but just type in like Super Mario Sunshine Phoenix Wright and go watch it. It's awesome.
Indeed, how can one not be aware of what is going on? Though it is daytime in Delfino Plaza, our poor residents tremble beneath a veil of darkness. Expert shine scholars have determined that...
I'm also very curious to see how Galaxy is going to play like with the Joy-Cons, because I'm going to try playing it like that, because that's most accurate to... My guess is it will actually not be that bad. It's just going to be kind of off-putting at first.
This horrible graffiti is to blame. Behold this sketch of the perpetrator based...
But of course, you can play Galaxy with the Pro Controller and the Joy-Cons and in handheld mode, because the game has to be able to play like that. Although I've heard some, you know, talk about, oh, in handheld mode you get the star bits by tapping on the screen and stuff. And how that's arguably clunky, but at the same time it's kind of like, oh, well, what else can you do? You can't point at the screen. Unless they had like gyro control stuff. I think people would like that worse. I think people would like that. Yeah, would like that less than just the current implementation. I guess it just kind of rides home the fact that this is like 3D All Stars is not perfect. It's not perfect. No one's arguing that it's perfect. But at the end of the day, I mean, I've wanted this for so many years. Sunshine and Galaxy in 1080p on a Nintendo console. And it's finally here. With some flaws, but it's here.
There is no longer any power to support the peaceful lifestyle of the islanders. It is most pitiable.
It is most pitiable.
The only way to ensure the return of the shine
I don't think I've ever heard that word outside of this game. So when Nintendo had to pull out their I can't say the word, darn it. Their you know what I'm trying to say? Thesaurus. There we go. Their thesaurus or whatever for that one. Okay. No, I do not want to hear it.
Go straight that way. You can't miss the mess now. Your first job's to get rid of all that ugliness. And remember, we'll be watching you, pal. We'll know if you start slacking off.
Which I'll be doing for pretty much the entire... Well, actually, no. I'm not going to be... Okay, so here we are, Delfino Plaza. How quickly am I going to see frame rate drops? And how fast is it going to be until I actually get used to the controls? Oh, I think I just saw a frame drop right there. Okay, is it here already? Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay. Once I get used to it, it's not going to be that big a deal. I just have to get used to it first. So we're going to go ahead and grab this one first since it's right, like literally right. I'm so used to pressing Y on like the Xbox controller when I was doing Arcade 2 not that long ago. Okay, there you go. Now we're fine. Boom! The easiest shine sprite in the game right there. That's not like the one on the strip. You literally just spray that thing on the ground, and boom, you get it. You don't need rocket, you don't need the turbo nozzle, you don't need any of that. No fancy footwork, none of that. It's literally all you have to do. Simple as heck. In fact, I want to try and get in as many of those as... X. I think that's the reason why I'm getting thrown off, is because the X button... Actually, no. The X button would not be there on a GameCube controller. Whatever. Oh yeah, can we talk about how the X button is still there? Like the one on the GameCube? Like, it's right there. It's still there, even though the game doesn't support the GameCube controller, which also kind of sucks. I mean, I'd probably still be playing this game with the Pro Controller anyway, just because I don't want to drag the GameCube adapter in here. We have two GameCube adapters, by the way. One in my brother's room, for Smash, of course. And then one in the living room. The official one, actually, even. And that one's also there for Smash. But, of course, you know, if we want to play, like, 20XX on the Wii U or whatever, then we can use it for that as well. Okay, see, I'm already seeing some frame rate drops. Okay. Oh my god. You know, whatever. That wasn't gonna work anyway. I was gonna try going to Pianta Village, even though I'm not gonna do that right now. We're gonna go in order. You know what? Should we try? Should we try doing the pachinko? The boats though. The boats aren't really moving. That's not gonna help. I'm also just walking around because I want to get myself used to the controls. So I'm not just sitting there for half the level being like, oh, how do the controls work? Okay, which one? I think this is the one that's just going to be right here, I think. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay. I'm going to get used to this, and then it won't be a problem. I just got to get used to it first. Because this, from here on out, is going to be the version of the game I play. At least if I'm going to play on console. If I don't want to play on the emulator or whatever. It's going to be this version, because why would I not want to play in HD? So I'm going to have to get used to these controls no matter what. Yes, I know I can do that. There we go. Is there any more I can get without having to have the rocket nozzle? Because I know there's the one on the other tower, but that one requires the rocket nozzle. I'm pretty sure. There's also the one on top of the lighthouse, but that also requires the rocket nozzle. I don't know. There's the bird that's all the way over there, I think. Oh wait, what am I talking about? There's literally a pipe right over here I can go to. What am I talking about? There's literally a pipe sitting right over here. Oh my god. Go in the pipe. Okay. Here we go. This obviously isn't going to be that hard. Could try landing on it perfectly, but whatever. Okay, now I'm pretty sure I can't get any more. Unless that bird is over there on the other side. But it's like, do I really want to go over there? Do I really want to go over there just to see if it's there? The answer is yes, of course. So yeah, it's not super in your face, but I am noticing the frame drops every once in a while. That's something that definitely needs to be, like, patched, for sure. And I do think they will update this game. For two reasons. One, because they are going to do Galaxy 2. Because one simple reason. Money. They can get so much money out of us by giving us Galaxy 2. There is no reason for them not to. They're going to do Galaxy 2. Which means this game is going to be updated to include Galaxy 2. So while they're doing that, they could also improve the frame rate and stuff. Maybe even add the option to use inverted controls again. Okay. Okay, I need to get used to that. I'm not used to clicking the stick. Oh yeah, by the way, even though it says A now, you can still press B. Like, I just pressed B right there. Although you can't fast forward through it without pressing A, so there is that. Just pointing it out, I guess. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and wait for it. We'll just come back later. Let's just go and do actually, hold on. I might be able to get into the red coin level on the cliff. Emphasis on the word might. So don't take it seriously. If it doesn't work, then we'll just actually do Bianco Hills. Well, of course we have to get Shadow Mario first, but you get the point. Okay, kind of weird. Oh yeah, frame rate, yeah, so the frame rate issues definitely need to be sorted out, or at the very least improved upon. It's not enough to kill the game, but it definitely takes you out of the flow, that's for sure. Then again, frame drops for me when it comes to this stuff is not all that new. Yeah, that's probably not happening unless I do something insane. I'm sure there's some like wall jump thing you can do to get over there, but you know what, I'm not going to. I've gotten all the stars I can get easily. Well, unless I really want to try getting in here. But that's not happening. So we got like what? Okay. Yeah, laggy map! So we got 3. I think there's 10 shine sprites, like not counting... Oh yeah, there's that one, but of course I can't get that yet. You know, not counting, the blue coins. We're not counting the blue coins, just the actual shine sprites you can get. I believe there's 10. Also, I'm pretty sure there's a blue coin right there. Like that bird that you just saw up there. Pretty sure it gives you a blue coin.
Princess, look! On the statue's head!
Not quite, I'm afraid. Okay, here we go. Stop the criminal in his tracks with some water. See, actually right now, not having the holding down the button thing is actually kind of helpful because it means I'm not going to accidentally stop in my tracks. I'd still prefer to just have the analog triggers, of course, like on the GameCube or the Xbox One controller when I was using that for Arcade 2 last month. If there's one thing I can ask for Nintendo to do for their next console when it comes to a controller, please add analog triggers. Even though it doesn't really matter for most of the games, but for this game specifically, that would really help because this game was designed around the analog trigger. Now here's a really cool improvement that no one really has talked about. Look! You can actually see what's inside, whereas last time it was like 5 pixels. Yeah, it's not a huge improvement. It's not going to change the game or anything, but still nice. Okay. Look at that score. It's stretched. That needs to be fixed. Although I don't think it was like that yesterday. Also, I swear there was something weird with that. I don't know. So I know the texture right here is actually better, apparently, what I've heard at least. Ricco Harbor, Pina Park. Can you even see Ricco? Yes, you can see Ricco Harbor from here. Then of course over there is Pina Park. And of course there's Gelato Beach and Serena Beach. And then of course good old Delfino Plaza and the little island, although of course you can't see the tree on it. Oh yeah, you want some shades, man? So this is the only level I've really seen in like this version of the game so far. And it looks, well, pretty much what you'd expect it to look like. It is Bianco Hills. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but I've always called it Bianco Hills. I'm probably saying that wrong, but whatever. That's how I've called it for 10 plus years. It's not changing now. Now here's something I'm going to do at least for right now. One thing I used to do a lot back in the day, once I figured out you could do this, is I used to actually skip this first shine sprite, and I believe it's the only one in this game you can actually do. Whereas in like 64, you can do the shine sprites. In 64, you can do a lot of the stars like out of order. But like in this game, this is the only one I'm pretty sure you can do like out of order. You can basically skip this star. Well, you still do it, but... Well, actually, no, I could technically skip it, but I'm just gonna do this anyway, just so I don't have to... Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna go ahead and we're not gonna grab this Shine Sprite, and we're gonna go right to PD Piranha. Get away from me. Yeah, see, like right here. The bridge isn't there, but of course nothing is stopping you from just doing that. And then you can continue all the way up here and you can fight PD Piranha. It's the only Shine Sprite in the game where you can do this, where you can just skip one of them. Again, as far as I'm aware of. Maybe there's one that you can do out of order that's not this one, but if there is, I don't remember what it is. Oh, that M is actually higher resolution than I expected. I think it's higher resolution than it was on GameCube. I don't know. Oh, look at the guy down there, is just standing. He's not even moving. Here we go. You can just see the, like, they're not artifacts, but you can just see that kind of effect that like AI upscaling has on like low resolution images on these videos. Again, it works, but like you can tell that this was using an AI upscaler, which is fine. I'm just saying that's what it is, or at least I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Oh, I almost did it the other way. Okay, I did it right again. Oh, darn it. There's like nothing here. Why are they spawning? Okay, we're good. I just realized we're 40 minutes in and we've only gotten like one real star. Oh well. This game is already going to take longer than all the other ones, no matter what, anyway. By all the other ones, I mean, like, literally the last one we did. I'm gonna try and complete all of these, like, in order. Well, not in order, but, like, I'm not gonna just go to the next level. I want to complete all of these first. Like, all of the ones in Bianco Hills first. But I know there are, like, a couple I probably won't be able to do at some point because, oh, you need this nozzle for it. Like, we might not be able to do the red coin one, because that one I think requires the rocket nozzle. We should be able to do all the other ones. Oh yeah, fun fact, my brother was actually struggling so hard doing the P Piranha rematch that's in that little town area, because he didn't know that you had to grab those the like puffer things. He tried doing it like manually and stuff, and it was like he was struggling so hard. I tried. Here we go. Now this is not the one, but the next one, the one that's on level 6, or Shine Sprite 6, whatever you want to call it, Mission 6, you get the point, is also kind of infamous because it's, the debug blocks are still there. Because this was the first time I saw one of these secret Shine levels, was like footage of that one particular level. And when I saw that, I was like, wait, did they add that to all of them? No, it's just this one, and it's like a bug that they just, I don't know, somehow they just missed it. And chances are, when they do an update for this game at some point, that will be removed and the debug blocks will go away. So, for those of you that like the debug blocks for some reason on that one level, enjoy it while you can, because I guarantee you Nintendo's going to patch it out. And I'm just... Okay. You know, for someone that not too long ago was doing Arcade 2, kind of no problem for the well, not no problem, but like outside of Gelato Beach, that was legit like hell. But like the rest of it was actually, you know, pretty reasonable, and I actually really enjoyed it. And now I'm sitting here struggling on the vanilla levels. Now, of course, that's mainly because I don't have Flood, whereas in like all of the Arcade 2 levels you have Flood, I'm pretty sure. At least most of them you do. Can you imagine if you had to do all the Arcade 2 levels without Flood though? That would like legit be like impossible. Like there's actual levels that are built around Flood, but even the ones that don't require Flood would be like a nightmare. I actually don't know which one this is. Oh. Oh, right, that's right. There's 2 red coin levels. Yeah, in like 64, there's only 1 red coin level in the whole game. That's wrong as heck. What I meant to say was 1 red coin level, per world, whatever you want to call it. Course. That's what the game calls it. Whereas in this one, you can have multiple. I don't think it's in any of the others, but I know for a fact that there are a couple of stages that have 2 red coin missions. This is the first one. The 8th level, which is the last one, that one is definitely... Like, pretty much all of the last missions, I'm pretty sure, are red coins. But I'm not 100% sure, so again, don't shoot me if I get it wrong. So, since we're playing here, I think we might as well start talking about stuff. So, well, let's talk about some news recently. So, actually today, and by today I'm talking September 26th, 2020. So, well, it's gonna be the 27th, not that long, because it's 11:35 right now. So in like a half an hour, it's gonna be midnight, which means, of course, it's gonna be the next day. But as of this particular moment in time, it is September 26th, 2020, which means that today we got new footage of Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. We got a new trailer showing off the champions on the Nintendo YouTube channel, and we have that whole Koei Tecmo stream where they showed off the game. I didn't watch the Koei Tecmo stream. I haven't really seen any of it yet, outside of like maybe one snippet at the beginning, but obviously it looks pretty good. It's what you'd expect. It's Hyrule Warriors Breath of the Wild, so that's obviously really cool. But I'm not going to look too much into the gameplay, because I want most of the game to be a surprise. Especially the story, because of course the story is, for a lot of people, the reason why they're buying the game. Because, I mean, of course we're going to buy it anyway, because it's Zelda, but... but the main reason why we're buying it, in particular, is because, you know, the story. Now, as we all know, Breath of the Wild was much more about the gameplay than the story. That's probably like the number one complaint that people have about Breath of the Wild, even though mostly, okay, I'm not gonna say everyone loves Breath of the Wild. I know there are people out there that do not like Breath of the Wild, which sounds crazy to someone like me, but at the same time, it's like, I can understand if you care a lot about the story, if you don't really care for the open world design, you prefer the, you know, Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, Twilight, like, you know, like the classic 3D Zelda design. I get it. And I love the classic 3D Zelda design. But Breath of the Wild it really was amazing. It really was. I'm not going to sit here and say it's the best game ever, and I'm not going to sit here and act like it's flawless. It's not flawless. As I just said, the story is something that for a lot of people had much to be desired and all that and whatnot. But it's a mostly fantastic game, and if you somehow have not played it already, go play it. No, seriously, stop watching this stream right now and go on your Switch, or if you still have a Wii U and you don't have a Switch somehow by this point, then even on Wii U, go buy that game and play it. It's amazing. Besides, you're going to want to play that game before you play Age of Calamity anyway, and of course, you're going to want to play the game before you play the sequel that's coming out sometime in this century. I think it's coming out next year, which will line up perfectly, by the way, because, here's my theory. So Age of Calamity, of course, is coming out in November, and even though they haven't announced it yet, I think it's pretty safe to say, like a lot of the recent major Nintendo titles, it's gonna get DLC. And I think that one of the DLCs is going to be like a setup to Breath of the Wild 2, or it's gonna be a tie-in to it in some way, shape, or form, because it just kind of like makes sense. Maybe they'll at least costumes, for example, you could play as Zelda with the short hair, or maybe they'll have that already in the game at launch, since we already have known about it since June 2019 at E3. But I think that we are going to get a season pass, which, by the way, fun fact, the first Hyrule Warriors in 2014 was the first Nintendo game ever to have a season pass. Like, not DLC packs, not DLC like New Super Luigi U. I mean, like, the first game to actually have a straight-up season pass was Hyrule Warriors. In fact, they got 2 of them. Although the second one had one major problem with it, and that's the reason why I didn't buy it. It was because the 3DS version of the game that came out by that point also got a season pass, and it was the same one that came out for the Wii U. Like, the second season pass on the Wii U was the same one that the 3DS got when it came out. You get the point. If you know Hyrule Warriors, you already know all this stuff. But the problem was, for some reason, the Wii U version of Hyrule Warriors only got the new characters, but they didn't get the new stages. For some reason. Could you imagine if they did that with, like, Smash? Like, hey, you buy Cloud on 3DS, you get Midgar, but you don't get it if you have it on Wii U. Could you imagine if they did that for Smash? I don't know why they did it for Hyrule Warriors. The only reason I could possibly think of is because frame rate is because they wanted to push the 3DS version, and the Wii U at that point for Nintendo was kind of like in the rear view window anyway, but like, or the rear view mirror, I should say. Still really weird though, although of course now it doesn't really matter because now you can just buy Definitive Edition on Switch and it has everything on it, so yeah. But yeah, I think we're gonna get a season pass for Age of Calamity, and it's going to, and at least in like the final DLC that'll probably release, I'm gonna say like a month before Breath of the Wild 2 releases, whenever it releases, or at the very least it's gonna be before the game comes out. It's going to be based around Breath of the Wild 2, or it's at least going to be a tie-in to it in some form. And if they don't have it by that point, they will add Zelda's short hair from Breath of the Wild 2 as like a part of that DLC. If they don't just have it in the base game already, or they don't include it in some other update. There's no way that's not a thing. I mean, come on. This is the first time you're going to be able to play as Breath of the Wild Zelda in any game. There's no way they're not going to include the short-haired version when it's so popular, even though we've only seen it in literally one trailer for a game that we haven't seen in a year. Oh my god, I'm so bad. Because okay, yeah, here we go. Now I'm good. So yeah, these things, like the puffer guys, you need to kill them with this. That was my impression of a Pianta being saved by Mario. I hope you liked it. Yeah, so honestly, I'm not going to look too much into Age of Calamity because I want it to be as blind as possible, at least as far as the story goes. I might look at some of the regular gameplay, plus all the gameplay is in Japanese anyway because it was from Tokyo Game Show, so I'm not going to be able to understand it anyway. Although I do think Game Explain put up a video where they included translations. Oh, last frame. Yeah, he was, man, my brother was struggling hard on this level, and it's like, as long as you get the rocket guys, it's fine. It's not that big a deal. But, and this is, okay, this is not a direct quote, but it's like a paraphrase of a quote. But as my brother said, he wanted to do it the man's way, or something along those lines, like a real man. Do it the hard way. Okay, where'd that give it? Okay. Oh no, that didn't. I'm still getting used to the controls, but I am getting more used to them. I don't want to be in here, because I'll... Darn it! Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I gotta get out of this area. Oh, darn it. It's gonna screw me, now he's gonna fly away. Grab one of these. Come on. Oh, what? That doesn't count? There's only one left over here. I'm pretty sure they'll respawn, though. Wait, did that not work? Darn it. Okay, maybe it's not easy still, but it's at the very least not as hard as he's making it out to be. I don't remember it being this hard, though. But I'm sure it's the same as it's always been. Then again, it's been a while since I've replayed Sunshine. Okay, there we go. So, on a side tangent, going back to talking about stuff, since we gotta talk about something during this stream, I guess I was gonna put this out in a community post on the main channel, but I guess I'll do it here, even though no one's gonna see this, but whatever, I'll announce it anyway. I am finally working on another video. And when I say another video, I don't mean a podcast like the Nincast. I don't mean a discussion video. I don't mean a discussion video. I don't mean an unboxing. I don't mean any of that stuff. I'm talking about like a real video on the main channel that I have editing, where I have all the editing and stuff. I have not made a video in a couple months, and that is because yeah, that right there is pretty. Okay, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Just straight up. I'm gonna admit that's pretty bad. But it's the secrets of yeah, here we go. Now we're gonna go to the mission with the debug blocks. But the main reason why I haven't been working on a new video, like a new main video for the main channel with editing and everything, is mainly just because I haven't really had anything I've wanted to make a video on, or at least a video, like when I say make a, or yeah. What I should be saying is, I haven't had anything that I've wanted to make a video of that type on yet. I had a couple ideas, like not like a couple months ago after I did the last video, which was the Nintendo in 2020 video, by the way. And I had a couple ideas, like maybe I was thinking about doing a video about Atlas, and stuff, and the whole the release dates are 6 months away. Like it was basically gonna be a not a rant, but like a quasi rant about how Atlas takes forever to localize their games. But I decided ultimately not to for a couple reasons, mainly just because I kind of felt that, you know what, if I really wanted to do that, it'd probably just be easier and simpler to do that in like a Nincast. So I never did that, by the way, at least not that I believe. Most of the Nincast videos this year have been about all the next gen stuff going on. What was the last? Oh yeah, oh, and the last, yeah, oh yeah. So there's the debug blocks. See all those little tiny blocks, like right there, all those little tiny boxes that are like in between all the platforms. Yeah, those are debug blocks that are turned on by accident because someone at Nintendo accidentally turned them on and forgot to turn them off. But it's only in this one stage. It doesn't appear in any of the others. It's only this one. At first I thought they were a new addition that was added to make the game, quote, easier somehow, even though it doesn't actually make it easier. But, oh, you can, for newer players, I don't know, something like that. But no, it's just literally an accident. And Nintendo just completely forgot to remove them. Which is why I think that they're gonna get removed whenever this game gets an update. Like a notable update, where they fix things and they add Galaxy 2. Yeah, right there. All those mini blocks, those are not there in the actual game. Those are only there in the debug mode that Nintendo accidentally turned on for this stage and forgot to turn it off. See, look how much of a rush job it is. They forgot to turn off the debug blocks. You know someone's gonna say that, so I'll get it out of the way, I guess. No, I'm not gonna risk it. If I had the long jump, I would, but I'm not going to. Made it. First try. But yeah, I just didn't really have any topics that I really wanted to do. Like a full, like, edited video on and everything. So I figured that most of the topics I'd want to talk about, I could just do a Nincast on them and that would be good enough. And that's what I've done for the most part. But recently I've had some more ideas, like for a proper, legit video for the main channel. One of which is the one I'm working on right now, which is basically, it's another Smash video, which really isn't that big of a shocker, I guess, because I like doing the Smash videos. But it's a video about basically stages that should be in Ultimate, or just in Smash in general, that aren't. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, that's the basic, like, that's the basic concept of it. Is basically, these are stages that I believe should have been in the game and they aren't for some reason. Okay, I'll give you a tiny hint. For example, I think that the Splatoon stage should have been either Inkopolis Plaza, or it should have been one of the other, like, iconic stages, like Urchin Underpass, or Salt Spray Rig, or Walleye Warehouse. You know, one of the original OG stages from launch. Not Moray Towers. I don't have any problem with Moray Towers. In fact, I like Moray Towers in the actual Splatoon game, which is kind of controversial, because apparently Moray Towers is one of the most hated levels in Splatoon 1 and 2, and I don't know why. I think that stage is awesome. Or that level is... maybe not awesome, but I like that. But I like that map in Splatoon and Splatoon 2. It's by no means my favorite, but I do enjoy the mechanic of the stage. And I like how in Splatoon 2 they added in the things from the single player where you can, like, go across the ink lines or whatever. So, you know, I like Moray Towers in actual Splatoon, but it's not the stage I would have chosen for, like, Smash as, like, the Splatoon stage. I think it should have been either Inkopolis Plaza, or it should have been one of the, like, launch maps. Like, one of the 5 launch maps. Like, Urchin Underpass, Salt Spray Rig, Walleye Warehouse, Black Belly Skate Park, and... what was the last one? I forget what the last one was, but you get the point. Like, one of the launch maps. In particular, I think it should have been Urchin Underpass, because Urchin Underpass is the map from Splatoon 1. It's in my opinion, the most iconic map in the whole franchise for several reasons. And it's even in Mario Kart. It's in Mario Kart, but it's not in Smash. It's not even in Splatoon 2, though, which I think is really ridiculous. Like, okay, not being in Smash is one thing, but how is it not in Splatoon 2? They brought back several old stages, including Moray Towers, which might be one of the reasons why they chose it, because they wanted to have a map that's in the sequel, you know, the game that you can actually buy and play right now. But even if you were gonna do, even if you weren't gonna do Urchin Underpass because it's not in Splatoon 2, we don't want to promote a map, quote unquote, promote a map that is not in the game that you can actually buy and play right now on our current system. You could have still done like Black Belly Skate Park. That's a launch map from Splatoon 1, and it's in Splatoon 2. You could have done that. Or Walleye Warehouse. You know, I don't know. But that's my personal pick. I think it should have been Urchin Underpass, because it's the most iconic stage in the whole series. Sorry, the most iconic map in the whole series. It's the one that started it all with that E3 2014 trailer. It should be the one that's represented in the game. Ultimately, I don't have any problems with the Moray Towers stage in Smash. And I'm very happy with the song list, but I think should have gotten a more iconic stage, even if I like Moray Towers in Splatoon itself. So that's like that's basically your hint, or not a hint, but that's your little sneak peek at the video, I guess, is Urchin Underpass, or one of the other Splatoon 1 stages, is basically like one of the things I talk about. And eventually I go and of course that is basically, that's not really a stage that's not in the game. That's more so like, it should have been this stage instead of that one. Whereas like eventually the further into the video I get, I'm going to get into I'm going to get into what was I going to say? Yeah, I'm going to get into maps that stages that like are not represented in the game whatsoever and should actually be there, but I'm not going to spoil what they are. So, long story short, that's my next video. It's what I'm working on right now. It's kind of I'm in the pre-production stages on it. I'm mainly just writing the script. Well, and by the script, what I mean is a Word document that just has like the text that I'm supposed to say written on it. So basically, the script, quote-unquote, of the video, because I want to have it all written up, because I've tried just ad-libbing it, but it's way better when I just have, like, something to read off of. So I'm going to write the entire script, quote-unquote, of the video first. Then I'm going to record all the voice lines. Then I'm going to start doing the actual editing, because for the last video, the Nintendo in 2020 video, I just did it pretty much randomly. I didn't have any real pattern. Like, I just kind of added stuff on a whim, and I didn't do everything, like, I didn't do all the voices first. I just edited the video as I progressed. But this time I want to make it more streamlined, so I want to get all the voices done and out of the way first. Then... Okay, here we go. We forgot to grab this last time. Yeah, this blue coin that I'm not going to bother grabbing. Oh, right. There we go. But yeah, so I'm gonna record all of the voice, like all the dialogue first. Then I'm gonna actually like do all the editing for the video. I gotta get the voices out of the way first, because the voices are the part that hold up production the most. Once I get the voices recorded, I can just kind of go when it comes to like editing. So I want the video to come out like sooner rather than later, because like the last video I did, the Nintendo in 2021 on that channel, on the main channel, that video took me legit a month to make. And a part of that was because Nintendo kept announcing stuff as I was making it, so I had to constantly update it. Mainly when it came to Origami King, as I actually had a section in the video fully recorded and everything that was like all about a potential new Paper Mario for the Switch, and then I had to scrap it all because like the day after I recorded it, Nintendo actually announced the Paper Mario for the Switch. Now, of course, this time that won't be a problem. I'm not gonna have to worry about getting constant updates. Well, unless, like, somehow the next DLC character includes the stage I'm talking about, but the chances of that happening are extremely low. But, you never know, I guess. So yeah, I'm working on the video. I'm not gonna promise any time frame or anything like that, but I am working on it. I'm in kind of the pre-production stages on it, but probably tomorrow, of course, but again, don't promise. I'm not going to make any promises, but tomorrow I'm probably going to start, I'm going to work on more of the script. I'm going to start recording voiceover. And then, of course, after that, I'll start working on the editing. And, of course, when the video is done, I will let you guys know on the community tab. I'll probably let you guys know probably a day before. And then, of course, I'll just be like, hey, the video's going to go up at this time, and then, well, that's all she wrote. And, hopefully it does well. I've mostly been happy with the numbers I've been getting. I mean, I'm not someone that makes YouTube videos just for the views. But obviously, you don't make a YouTube video and then no one sees it. You want your YouTube videos to be seen by people, of course. So in terms of, like, all of the videos in this style, the edited style I've been doing for the last couple of these videos, I've done 4 so far. There's the original one that sparked this whole idea of what I want to do for the main channel, which is the Veterans I Want in Smash Switch video from April 2018, which of course is completely obsolete because, well, the title of the video, Veterans I Want in Smash Ultimate, should kind of just, sorry, in Smash Switch, because this is before it was Smash Ultimate. This is after the game was announced, but before we, like, knew what the name was. So this was in that big gray zone of speculation where people were like, oh, is the game gonna be a port? Is it gonna be a half port? Is it gonna be, like, a remaster? Is the game gonna be this? Is it gonna be that? That whole thing. And, of course, it ended up being a brand new game. But that just happened to bring back every single character, and I'm still so grateful that we got that. A feat that everyone thought was impossible, especially with Snake. No one thought Snake was going to happen again, especially after the whole Kojima fiasco in 2015. No one thought that was ever going to happen again, and yet Sakurai and his team managed to do it. Although, from what I remember in some interviews, they had to go through hell to get him in the game. Apparently, he was the hardest character to get in the game. No shocker there. Apparently, they were talking for over 4 hours at one point on, like, a call with some, like, legal team at Konami just to make sure that they had everything absolutely 100% set in stone and everything. So it's like, but it definitely paid off in the end, having every single Smash character in the game. Although, there is one problem with that. And that's the fact that, well, this is probably the only time we're gonna get every Smash character, because, I mean, all of the stuff they had to go through just to get all the characters this time, and also Sakurai's made it crystal clear that this is probably not gonna happen again. We should enjoy it while it lasts, because when the next Smash game comes, we're probably going to be going down to like 40 or 50 characters instead of the 80-something we're going to be at by the end of this game. By the end of Fighters Pass Volume 2, assuming that there is no more DLC, and I don't think there's going to be, Sakurai's been crystal clear about, yeah, Fighters Pass Volume 2 is the end of Ultimate, and honestly, the release dates alone kind of are indications of that. I mean, why would they be spreading out the Fighters Pass? I'm not going to grab that, by the way. Why would they be spreading out the Fighters Pass between, all of the different... Sorry, between 2 years if they were going to be making more DLC? Just had to pause there for a second. Actually, I think this last red coin, I think this last red coin does actually require me to have the rocket nozzle. Which, of course, is just right down there. Okay, what? Okay, is it actually up there? What? Where is it? I'm gonna get that in a second. She was literally just let in here, and now she wants out again. Oh, darn, I got it. Yeah, let's just grab it, because we're gonna need it anyway. Plus, it'll be faster. Before I do that, let me go ahead and get her out of here since she wants to be out. Okay. Oh yeah, on a random note, this probably won't matter to literally any of you because this is more of a real life type thing, but we got a new fridge today. I think in a previous stream I also said that, but that was a different fridge. So this probably will not matter to literally anyone that ever watches this, and but I'm going to talk about it anyway because why not? So last month, our fridge that we have had for 10, 11 years, pretty much as long as I've been alive. Okay, not really, but but like a fridge we've had for a very long time, like 10, 11 years, and it has served us very, very well, but it has been slowly breaking over the last couple years. The ice button on it got jammed. You can't use, like, okay, for the longest time, you could never actually like make ice cubes on it. It would just give you like small ice crumbles or whatever. Like it was not giving you proper ice cubes, so you had to like pull out the tray inside to get them. So it's strike number one. Then a couple years ago, the button to change like between, you know, water, ice, and like crushed ice was broken. So now you couldn't even use it for crushed ice anymore. The button was just straight up broken. Strike two. And then finally, last month, after like a power surge that happened, something in the refrigerator let go, and now the thing was quickly dying. The freezer still worked, but the refrigerator part wasn't working. It was blinking all over the place, and eventually the thing just died. And we had to scramble because we didn't have any plans, and we were also, so we had to scramble. And we were going to just order a new fridge, and we'd be like, hey, no problem, we're just getting a new fridge. But the problem is, because of COVID, everyone's been buying fridges because reasons. This is more so back earlier on, you know, in March, when people were lining up at Costco to get toilet paper and stuff like that, and bottles of water. I remember back in March, I went to get new glasses at Costco, and there was legit, like, a whole store full of people in tons of lines, and all of them had like 3 things of toilet paper and 2 things of water bottles. All of them, every single one. This was at the height of like the pandemic, you know, March, April, where everyone was scrambling to get food and water because they didn't know how, because they didn't know. Yeah, that whole thing. We never did that, of course, but yeah, everyone was doing that though. And of course now, you know, toilet paper and water is easy to come by. Of course the pandemic is far from over, but it's not as bad as it used to be. Where everyone was so worried. But anyways, but even then, people were still like buying a ton of fridges because of the pandemic. And because of that, the fridge we wanted to get legit was not available for like 6 months at like some of the places because we went to like Home Depot, Lowe's, we went to some other place, I forgot the name. It was the first place we went to. It was a much smaller place. You know, we went to a bunch of different places, right? And almost all of them either didn't have it or the wait was going to be like several months. Like legit for one of them, I think it was Lowe's, it was like 6 months. I'm not even joking. It legit was 6 months wait for a refrigerator. Are you kidding me? What? Why? And of course, and I said right there in the store, we're not waiting until 2021 to get a new refrigerator. Like, what? We're not waiting until 2020. We need a fridge now. Or at the very least, in a somewhat reasonable time frame, not like 6 months. Obviously, we didn't do that, because who's waiting 6 months for a refrigerator that you need right now? So, we had to do... So, plan B was to buy a smaller fridge that we could absolutely get right then and there for a reasonable price tag. We would just use that until our proper fridge came in. Which at that point was like 3 weeks away. We found a place and they're like 3 weeks. So it's like, okay, we'll just use a secondary fridge. But the problem is, we couldn't do that. I don't remember why, but we just couldn't for some reason. So instead, here's what we did. We bought a cheap freezer from what I called a glorified pawn shop. It was like someone took an old Babies R Us location that's around here, and they like bought it. And then they, like, made it into basically a giant garage with just a bunch of random stuff in it. And it's, like, completely silent, no music, nothing. It's so weird. It's legit, like, basically, it was like a warehouse, but it was a Babies R Us instead of a warehouse. And it was full of used, like, microwaves and refrigerators and standalone freezers and all kinds of appliances. It was, like, really weird. And they still had, like, all the Babies R Us signs up still as well. So it was, like, really weird and funny, honestly. And what we did is we bought like a cheap, standalone, just like freezer we could put in the garage. So we had something that, you know, to use as a freezer. And then we used, and this is the part where it's gonna get really ghetto. We used a cooler as our refrigerator for like 3 weeks. And it was not fun. The freezer we bought, that was fine. We were good with that. For, you know, until again we got the proper fridge that only now just today came in. But yeah, we bought that that small freezer for like $150 at that glorified pawn shop, as I like to call it. And then we got and then we had to use and because we couldn't get like a proper fridge, we had to use the cooler. One of our old coolers as our de facto refrigerator for weeks, and it stank, and it was not good at all. When we finally got it wasn't the fridge, but once we got a fridge, like a not a mini fridge, but like a medium fridge. I'd call it a medium fridge. It's not one of those big boy fridges that most people have. But it's also not like a mini fridge for your beers and stuff. Like, you know, it's like a medium-sized fridge. It's an actual real fridge that's just not as big as most of the other ones you see out there. So we got one of those for like I think $500, and we were using that as our main fridge in addition to the freezer that we still had from earlier as our, you know, refrigerator and freezer. And it was working fine, but obviously we were still crammed on space in that refrigerator. That medium-sized refrigerator, and only now, over a month later, our real full-fat big balls version fridge or big boy fridge with the water dispenser. That was another problem too, is we didn't have a water dispenser anymore because of course that medium-sized fridge that I'm talking about, that didn't have and doesn't have a water dispenser. So we had to do all of our water like with either water bottles, or we had to, you know, take water from the sink faucet and put ice in it from the freezer in the garage and stuff. And it's like, yeah. But now we finally have our big boy fridge back, and it's definitely much better than our old fridge. And here's the best part. Not only do we have our new fridge that's nice and modern and clean and has a cool layout and stuff that's completely different than our old fridge. Our old fridge, the 10, 11-year-old one that died on us, that one, I know I'm delaying the coins here. I mean, I said this was gonna take a while anyway, so why not just talk, you know? But I'm gonna actually try looking for it though while I'm talking instead of just dragging this out forever. So anyway, see that old fridge? It had like a side-by-side thing where the refrigerator was on one side and the freezer was on the other. the refrigerator was not really the problem most of the time. It was the freezer. There was not enough space in the freezer a lot of the time. Like, you'd have to cram stuff in there. And even in the refrigerator part, that would happen. Basically, obviously, it's a refrigerator. It's just something you have. You don't think about it too much. But once we knew we had to get a new refrigerator, everyone agreed that, yeah, we need to get, like, something new. One, to mix things up, because, hey, we've had that refrigerator for 11 years, which will shake things up, you know? But also, like, yeah, but the fridge we have right now is, like, full 2-wing refrigerator on the top, and then we got a freezer drawer on the bottom. And remember, this is in addition to the freezer we bought at that pawn shop. Well, again, a glorified pawn shop. It's not an actual pawn shop, but that's pretty much what it felt like. And that's in yeah, and we got so much space in our new refrigerator. It's awesome. I'm really happy with our new refrigerator. And the best part, the thing I was getting to earlier, is that we have all that space in addition to the medium-sized refrigerator that we still have and we're still gonna keep. We're gonna put it out in the garage. And in addition to the freezer from earlier that we also still have and is still in the garage. So we have a big refrigerator, a medium refrigerator, which by the way does include a freezer in it, and a standalone freezer. So we have 3 different, and we still have a mini fridge, by the way, as well. That's another thing I forgot to mention, is that when we were still using the cooler as our refrigerator, we didn't put everything in there. We also put as much stuff as we could in our mini fridge, because we've had this like black and pink mini fridge for a long time that still works, and we had to use that as our de facto refrigerator for like the most important items that absolutely had to be kept in a real refrigerator, not a cooler with ice packs. And the problem is we were overworking that poor mini fridge, because sometimes it would just cut out, or like the temperature wouldn't be up to snuff. It was very clear that we were overworking it because it was not designed to be used the way we were using it. But that's what we had to do. But anyways, so yeah, we got the big boy fridge, finally. We got that medium-sized fridge, and we got that freezer, in addition to that small mini fridge for like water bottles and stuff. So yeah, we are set in terms of storage. The days where we had to cram all our stuff in the freezer or refrigerator are long gone. We are set on storage space for the foreseeable future, 100%. We will always have room unless something insane happens. Unless we get like a lifetime supply of milk or something, I don't know. We're never gonna run out of space. We will always have space, and that's something that seriously you cannot underestimate. It's a huge deal. But anyways, enough of talking about my fridges. Well, not my fridges, you know, our family's fridges. Whatever, you get the point. That was probably a really weird side tangent for a lot of you, hearing me talk about refrigerators and freezers. But it's been a big deal this last month, and now but the saga is finally coming to an end. We have our big boy refrigerator, and we still have our freezer and other fridge from when we were waiting for the big one. So now we got plenty of space. So yeah, but anyways, enough about that. Let's get back to the game here. So where the heck is I cannot find this red coin. Where is this red coin? I actually don't know where it is. Where the heck is the red coin? Where the heck is it? I don't see it anywhere. Is it a render distance thing? No, it's not. There's just, it's nowhere. Where? Oh, darn it. Why can't I find it? Is it? Oh my god, it's right over here. Okay, the sound effect was kind of cut off there. Probably because I was stepping on this, but wow! I was searching all that time for it, and it was way over there. Oh, whatever, we got it now. Oh, darn it. Yeah, it took way longer than it should have. Darn it, I tried. I'm trying to do this correctly. Ah, screw it. Whatever. We'll just do it this way. Not quite. Ah! We have now completed Bianco Hills. We're probably going to play for like at least 1 more hour, then I'm going to call it, because again, it's like midnight right now, and I don't want to be staying up till 6. Although I could do that, honestly, if I really wanted to. We'll see what happens. Anyway, frames! So yeah, most of the frame rate drops are in Delfino Plaza, but they're not really there in like the rest of the game. Oh my god, I just did the thing again! I tried doing it the other way, the inverted way, like it would be in the normal. Oh, look at Flood. Like it would be in the original. So I'm still not used to that, but I've mostly become accustomed to the controls at this point. Oh, what? There we go. Here we go. Ricco Harbor. Yeah, that score being stretched just looks wrong. All the other text is aligned correctly, so I'm not sure why that one's off. Then again, I don't know why the debug blocks would be on. It is what it is, I guess. I think it's over here, right? It's not here yet. Never mind. Anyways. What? That's not good enough? Oh, I have to... Never mind. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Oh my god. Stop being an idiot. Okay, here we go. Gooper blooper. Darn it. Darn it! I keep thinking I'm not grabbing it. Okay, I'm pretty sure now I can just do this and it'll be fine. Oh! There we go. You can't do anything to me now. And there you go. I'm surprised it just lets you go there after just one shine sprite from the area. Then again, I have like 12 shine sprites, so maybe that's already enough anyway. Now this, of course, has 2 shine sprites, so we're gonna get both of them. Anytime there's a race, you always can get a second one, pretty much. Well, at least when it comes to these. We're gonna go with the purple one. Oh, wait a second. I completely forgot about the fact we're gonna have to get 11 coins eventually. 11 coins! Oh my god. 100 coins! Okay, I didn't hear it there, but I know there's a different sound effect for, Yes. Oh my god. I pressed the wrong button. That's why I didn't jump. Yeah, there's a different sound effect right there for, like, the buzzer. Although I didn't really hear it all that well on this one. But when I was watching Jordan do Il Piantissimo in Pianta Village, it sounded super blatant and out of place. It was just like, you know, beep. It was like weird. Like, it was so blatant. We're obviously gonna see it later on. Why? I pressed the A button! I pressed the A button, and I know it's not the B button because I pressed that already. What? Why didn't that work? Oh. Okay. However much sense that makes. Yeah, I'm not sure why that didn't just work already. Now, of course, he's not going to give me the second shine sprite on the first run, I'm pretty sure. Okay, here we go. Jump! Okay, there we go. I forget how much you have to get in order for this to count. Yeah, we're gonna come back in here and get the second one. I'm not sure what time you have to get in order to get it, though, but I'm pretty sure we'll be fine. Here we go. Not yet. We're getting the other one. I'm not sure if it counts it as like a secret shine sprite on the screen or anything. I'm pretty sure every level has like 2 shine sprites, like 2 secret shine sprites. Because I know there's 2 in Gelato Beach. There's the one that's like underground in the sand. And then there's like one other one, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember where it is. Nice. Probably should have seen that coming, though. Yeah, leg! Okay, that really needs to be fixed. That and the frame rate problems in Delfino Plaza. Those are the 2 main things that need to fix. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See how there's 3 more slots. Wait. That's a reference you guys might not get. Anyways, So yeah, there's the one more for the 100 coins, and then there's 2 others. I'm not sure what those are. I wanna say it's talking about like when you do the secret courses again, but I don't remember if that's what it is or not. I legit do not remember what the ones in... Oh my god! Let me restart! Please, just let me restart. There we go. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna look this up because I don't remember. I think it's beating the 2... Oh, no. I know what they are. They're the red coin missions. They're the red coin missions in the secret courses. Never mind. I'm an idiot. I remember what they were. But not all of them are like that. Like, when I mean that, I mean, like, not all of the secret stars, or secret shine sprites, I should say, in the levels are just red coin missions. In the secret levels. Like, again, in Gelato Beach, there's that one that's where you hidden under, like, the sand by the mirrors. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about if you've ever played Sunshine before. I pressed A, and it didn't work. Oh, whoa, it's a lot more brighter now. As it should be, I guess. I really like how much more clear these, like, M paintings are. Oh, no, we tried this before. We all know how that went. I wonder if you could clip out of bounds, could you actually go all the way over to Delfino Plaza where there'd be like an invisible wall where the water just stop and you'd fall through the map or something? Maybe I'll try that in an emulator at some point. So yeah, if that's the edited sound, then it's not very obvious right there. But it is super obvious in the Il Piantissimo in Pianta Village at the very least, but we'll find out when we get that far. Okay, here we go. Okay, did technically work that time, I just screwed up the timing. Okay. We don't have to do this jump, but it kind of feels like... Oh my god, I did literally the same thing again. I did literally the exact same thing again. Okay, hold on. Okay, I still have one more life, but then I'm gonna have to go all the way back again if I miss this next one. You know what? I'm not even gonna... But I feel like I have to, though. I just gotta get the timing right. Just want to test it. Jump! There! Wow! So hard! 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that good enough? Yes, it is. It's probably 40. That's probably what the limit is. That's right, that's probably what the cap is. Okay, so yeah, now it's represented there at the bottom. Yeah, the other one is from the secret level. When we get to it, at least. I'd make a reference right now, but you guys would never get it in 1,000 years. So those spring pads, whenever I see them, all I think of is Spongify! And the is it Spongify? Yeah, Spongify! If you get that reference, then congratulations, we had the same childhood. Unless it's somehow in a different game, but I'm pretty sure it's only in that one game. Oh man, I gotta go all the way over here. Because the boxes will be there. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the same thing I did in 64, where I'm going to do all the regular levels first, then I'm going to do the Secret Shine Sprite, because I know for a fact if I get the Secret Shine Sprite, it's going to take me all the way back out. Whereas in 64, it just lets you continue on with the rest of the level. Oh! Ah! Oh no, I missed! Spongify! Spongify! I swear, if anyone gets that reference whatsoever, please post a comment in the VOD for this on YouTube. Because I really don't think anyone's going to get that reference. But in all seriousness here we go. I think that's only from that one game. I really don't know, though. I'm not some expert on those games. I would stream that game if I could get it working on my computer, though. But it's such an old game that it doesn't really work in Windows 10, even on my old computers. I'd have to like run it on Windows 7, and then I'd have to capture from one of the old computers, which I could do. I mean, of course, I have plenty. I got capture cards, obviously. I mean, how else would I be streaming this? But it's like I really want to play on an old computer and then like stream the output from that old computer to a capture. I don't know. It might be what I have to do, because I do want to stream that game at some point. That's a childhood classic that isn't Nintendo related, but yeah, just getting it working would be a problem. Maybe. Okay, I'm sure you got that reference. That's not obscure at all. Okay, so this right here, my friends. Secret. Please ignore that. The secret of Ricco Tower. This level is kind of infamous in a way. Not necessarily the level itself, but mainly because this level is the only level from Sunshine, not counting Smash Bros, that has appeared outside of Sunshine. And that would be, of course, as its own galaxy. I forgot what it was called. I want to say it was called Twisty Trials Galaxy. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, as one of the special galaxies in World S in Galaxy 2. They made this entire secret level into its own galaxy, which I think is really cool. Of course, it's not as challenging because you have the Cloud Flower and stuff, and plus just you get more options in Galaxy. Like, for example, in Galaxy you can long jump, whereas you can't long jump in this game. But it's still really cool that they made a whole Sunshine, like, secret course into its own, like, yeah, galaxy for some reason. World S is really cool in Galaxy 2. They also brought back a section from Beach Bowl Galaxy as, I forget the name of that one as well. I want to call it, I think it's Stone Cyclone Galaxy. Yeah. But I'm sure I can talk about that whole thing once we get to Galaxy 2 sometime. And I just fell off. Now we gotta go all the way back. But, you know, whatever, I guess it's fair enough that time. I'm sure you guys can't hear this, but I can hear there's a car in the distance that needs to be shut off. Oh, right, I need to go. Okay, so yeah, once we finish all the stars in Ricco Harbor, we're gonna get the coin star. We're gonna do the red coin mission for this level that we're trying to beat right now. And then we're gonna go back to Bianco Hills. And then we're gonna get the coin star and coin star, coin shine sprite, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. And then from that point on, we're gonna get everything before we leave, because I don't want to backtrack that much. We didn't have to backtrack that much in 64. Eventually, we didn't really have to backtrack too much, but I would try to. But I want to keep backtracking to a minimum. I want, like, us actually completing a world to really mean that we're actually completing a world. Nice. Okay, we're gonna be patient. We're not gonna rush this. Oh, no. Yes! Black... Oh my god, I almost said black flip. What? Black flip! Back flip for the win is what I meant to say. I really wish I could long jump, but... I wonder why they got rid of it in this game. It's in 64, it's in the Galaxy games, it's in Odyssey, it's in 3D World, and 3D Land for that matter. It's in all of the 3D games except for this one. The only reason I could think of why they didn't include it was because, one, FLUDD was the big focus, and second, because they wanted to make these areas more challenging, which, fair enough. I mean, as I said at the beginning of the stream, Sunshine is kind of seen, like, if there's one thing everyone can agree on with Sunshine, is that everyone agrees that Sunshine is, like, the hardest one. Mainly because of the secret courses, but still. And that's mainly because you don't have FLUDD. That's what makes them challenging. Although, as we saw in Arcade 2 when I streamed that, it can be challenging even with FLUDD. So, just having FLUDD does not automatically make a level easy. I can tell you that for a fact. Oh my god, I almost went flying off. Now, thankfully, when you do the red coin missions, you do actually get that flood. So that's good. We're gonna do the red coin thing. Well, let's just do it right now, actually. Let's just get it out of the way. So far, the lack of the analog trigger really hasn't been that big of a problem. The main problem has just been, like, this. Like, okay, no. Not this. This has been the main slip-up. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah, that right there. That was blatant as heck. That was different, right? I have no idea why they thought they should change that. Alright, was there something wrong with the old sound effect that Nintendo didn't like? Or is that just a bug? I really doubt that's a bug. But it's just such a it's so, like, weird. Because the one on the blooper thing was the same. Like weird. Maybe they wanted to make it more blatant, but it's like, what was wrong with the old one? Now that's a change that's never gonna go away no matter how many patches they do, so you better get used to it, I guess. I missed it, whatever. I do find it weird, though, how I'm going slightly off topic, I guess, but not really. Whatever. I mentioned this in the 64 stream as well, but it's kind of weird how 64 is 720p, yet Sunshine and Galaxy are both 1080p. Okay, Galaxy is actually like a dynamic resolution. It's like 900p to 1080p, but Sunshine is just a straight 1080p. And regardless, it's like, why is 64 not 1080p? Like, in a way that's almost a stranger decision than, like, not having 16:9. Because I can kind of understand, in a weird way, why they wouldn't want 16:9, because it would ruin the integrity of the game. Whatever reason they come up with, doesn't really matter. The point is, why is the game 720p when the newer games are higher? I don't get it. It's weird. It's really weird. I mean, to be fair, 64 doesn't need 1080p, but, like, it's still just weird to me. Like, it wouldn't be that weird if the other games were also 720p, and this was on, like, the Wii U, but it's not. This is on the Switch, and the other games are 1080p. I don't have to get this last one, I'm pretty sure. What? I was like, why is it... The range must be farther on this one. And there's that. We've been streaming for almost 2 hours now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to... So basically, here's the plan here, is finish Ricco Harbor, and then we're going to go back and finish Bianco Hills properly, and then we're going to call it a stream. Since, again, I don't want to stay up until, like, 6 a.m. I mean, I don't have a problem doing that, but, like, I don't want to... You know, I don't want to wake up at 5 p.m. I don't want to wake up at 3 or 5 p.m. sweaty as all heck, because that's what it's been like recently. Actually, will we be able to do the last mission on this, actually? Because we won't have them unlocked yet. Or maybe that's only for Delfino Plaza where it matters, I don't know. Why does he give us, like, more of these? See, the sound effect, I'm pretty sure, is different. It's just not anywhere near as noticeable. Like, why couldn't it sound like that? In, like, the secret course, or whatever. Like, it's so weird how blatant the change is. Like, why even change it? Was there really someone at Nintendo that thought, oh yeah, that beep sound effect in the original wasn't good enough. Let's change it. It was fine the way it was. But whatever. It's ultimately a minor change, I guess. It's just, like, really unnecessary. Oh! I did not think that was gonna... Oh, this is gonna screw me over, right? Okay, no, it did not. I thought that I was gonna screw up the timing and I was gonna slam head first. There we go. We still have plenty of time left, too. I remember stressing like crazy on this one back in the day. But look at that. We still had 48 minutes left. 48 minutes left. 48 seconds left. You know what I mean. Now this part right here is kind of cruel because it's like you can lose the shine just by slamming into the side wrong. But we're good. So if you, for those of you who have never played this game before somehow, so a requirement for beating the game is you have to beat all of the 7 levels in the game. And what I mean by that is every level in this, like every, like the 7th the 7th, I can't talk right now, the 7th shine sprite in every stage is always Shadow Mario, and you have to beat Shadow Mario in all of them in order to unlock the final area, which means the last shine sprite number 8, is completely optional. But of course we're going to do it anyway, just like we did for Bianco Hills. Is it Bianca or Bianco? I think I've said both of them this stream. Oh, whatever. Ah! Oh yeah, we didn't unlock this yet. Darn it. Okay, it's that button. Okay. I'm used to it being A or B, one of the two. Again, used to playing this on GameCube or even with an Xbox One controller when I was doing arcade too. And of course, I'm not gonna want this normally because that's gonna screw me over. But let's go. Did I grab this yet either? I don't think I did. No, I did actually. When I was doing the caged one. Okay, where the heck is he? Oh, there he is. There we go. Now, I have heard from some people that this next mission is the worst one in the entire game. While I don't think it's a bad mission, I also totally kind of get why people would say that. I think the correct term is maybe most frustrating mission would be a more appropriate name for this one. And I'm sure if you've ever played it before, you know exactly why. But for those of you who don't, you're gonna find out why. Well, maybe, assuming I don't do it flawlessly the first time. But first... Oh. So I figured, yeah, he's not here yet because we haven't unlocked him in the overworld yet. So never mind, we're not doing this one right now. We'll do this one later when we unlock him. But we can still... I should have stayed in, actually, because I need to get the 100 coins. Darn it, we're going back in. We gotta get the 100 coins still. Which one would be good for doing this? I don't know. Let's just try doing it on this one. If this doesn't work, then I have another idea. Oh yeah, I completely skipped this area last time. I just tried doing the shortcut method pretty much. Okay. We're actually gonna go this way because we're trying to get coins. And I want to make sure I don't miss anything. So, I guess while we're waiting on this, let's go and talk about something else. It's not going to be about another refrigerator, I promise. We're actually going to talk about something that's extremely relevant, super relevant, something that is going to change the face of gaming as we know it. And that is the recent acquisition of Bethesda by Microsoft. If you somehow have been living under a rock this entire time, and obviously me even talking about this acquisition is going to date this whole stream somewhat, because this is obviously relevant at the time of me talking about this. But yeah, if you somehow have not heard of this by now, somehow, yes, Microsoft has announced that they have acquired, or at the very least they're going to be acquiring. It's like the Disney thing where they've basically already acquired them, but it's not like 100% on paper. But basically, Microsoft has announced that they're acquiring Bethesda. Well, more specifically, they're acquiring ZeniMax Media, who in turn owns Bethesda. But the marketing, the media and most people have just said it's Bethesda, because who cares about ZeniMax? Okay, I'm gonna try. I'm trying not to grab the blue coins because I want to save those for later. Besides the blue coin. Whatever. Whatever. I tried to avoid them. But yeah, so ZeniMax Media owns Bethesda, and Bethesda in turn owns id Software, Arcane Studios, Machine Games, among several other developers like Tango Gameworks, probably most famously known for Evil Within, and also that one person at the company that is no longer there that made an infamous appearance at E3, I think, in 2019. Like, 2019, in terms of E3 memes, was Keanu Reeves, that one person from Tango Gameworks, I forget her name, all I know is that she left the company not that long after, and then, like, apparently there was a dog at the Watch Dogs Legion showing or something, but the one that everyone remembers is Keanu Reeves. And it's kind of become a meme. Like, well, no, okay. Saying Keanu Reeves has become a meme is an understatement. What I should be saying is the meme has become a meme. Like, people joke about, Redditors when someone doesn't think Keanu Reeves is funny or something. I don't know, whatever. Like, that kind of stuff is what I mostly see nowadays, is everyone's kind of, like, been backing off on the Keanu Reeves thing. But that was obviously a big, like, meme when it first happened. Oh, you're breathtaking. Yeah, you're breathtaking. That you all know it wasn't that long ago. It was like a year ago, maybe. You all know. But anyways, enough about that. Getting back to the acquisition. So, yeah, the acquisition. Now, the main talking point about the acquisition that I'm surprised, honestly, is as much of a talking point as it is will the games be coming to PlayStation or not? And this has been a huge topic of debate, and I can tell you right now what it's going to be. It's going to be exactly what all the previous acquisitions have been. Any games that already have deals or contracts to be multi-platform are still going to be multi-platform. For example, Psychonauts 2 was in development long before Microsoft bought Double Fine. And because of that, the game is still going to come out on PS4, in addition to Xbox, and the other platforms it was already announced to be coming to. And that is not changing with Bethesda. So Phil Spencer has already confirmed that yes, Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop, which were already confirmed to be PlayStation 5 timed exclusives, they will still be PlayStation 5 timed exclusives. That is not changing at all with this new deal. And by extension, any game, like for example, a Doom Eternal is going to be getting a next-gen upgrade for both Series X and PS5, and there's going to be DLC and stuff like that. Yeah, all that stuff is still happening. That isn't changing. What is changing is anything beyond that. Anything beyond, like, updates to existing, like, for example, anything for Elder Scrolls Online or Fallout 76, that's still going to be on PlayStation. That's not going anywhere because that's a pre-existing game. And yeah, Deathloop, Ghostwire Tokyo, that's still PlayStation pseudo-exclusive, and all that. Like, all the stuff that was already happening is still happening. That's not, all that stuff is not changing. But once we get to the games that are outside of this initial window of games that were already released or going to be released on certain platforms, That is where things change. Most notably with Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield. While we don't have any official confirmation, I guarantee you right now, I would legit bet 50 bucks on this. I'm not even joking. I would legit bet 50 bucks on this. That Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 are going to be Xbox exclusive. And by Xbox exclusive, what I really mean is Microsoft exclusive, which of course means Xbox and PC, but you get the point, right? The point is, those games are not going to be on PlayStation. It's only the games that have pre-existing agreements that are going to be on PlayStation, like Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop. But everything else, from that point onward, any new game, any new Fallout, any new Elder Scrolls, any new Doom, Wolfenstein, any of that. So when we get Doom 3, Wolfenstein 3, Elder Scrolls 6, Fallout 5, Starfield, all that stuff is going to be Xbox exclusive. So if you want to play those games on console, you gotta buy an Xbox. That's what it's going to be, I guarantee it. Case in point, Ninja Theory, their most famous title, which is Hellblade, right? Hellblade actually launched on PS4 first, back in 2017. Then in 2018, Microsoft bought them, and then Hellblade 2 was announced at the Game Awards in 2019 for Xbox Series X and PC. Not Xbox One, and not any of the Sony consoles. And Bleeding Edge, which is their newest game that came out on Xbox and PC earlier this year, is only on Xbox and PC. No PlayStation. So that right there should kind of be proof enough that, yeah. It's not, yeah. You get the point. Outside of the initial games and outside of updates for existing stuff, anything new is going to be Microsoft exclusive from here on out. So if you're looking for a next-gen console, if you still haven't decided which one you're going to be getting, or at least which one you're going to be getting first, then if you care about Bethesda's games, if you care about any of their franchises and they mean a lot to you, then obviously Xbox is the way to go. Unless you really want to play Deathloop or Ghostwire Tokyo, then you gotta go on PS5 for that. But those games are only timed exclusives, so they're gonna come to Xbox eventually anyway. But you know, if you care about your franchises like Fallout and Elder Scrolls and whatnot, or Doom or Wolfenstein on the id side, then yeah, you gotta go Xbox. But here's the great thing about this is that even if you still are determined to get a PlayStation 5 and that's the console you want to get, it won't cost you that much to still get an Xbox. See, this is the ingenious thing that Microsoft is doing. Like, I was already singing the praises of this move a couple months ago when I did my Nincast talking about the Series S before it was announced. And I think the biggest success that the Series S is going to have is not with being the cheapest console. No, I don't think that's going to be it. I think the biggest win the Series S is going to have is not by being the cheapest next-gen console. No. Their win is going to be being the easy second console alongside the PlayStation 5. I can tell you right, like, the Series S is the perfect companion, the perfect secondary console to a PlayStation 5 if you don't count the Switch. Like, it feels like they designed the Series S purposely for PlayStation 5 players. It's like, hey, you're gonna get a PlayStation 5? Well, you can get a Series S for only $300, and you can get Xbox All Access, you can get Game Pass Ultimate, and you can play all the Bethesda games. Like seriously, I think the Series S is actually going to be bigger with PS5 fans than it's going to be with, you know, budget gamers. Like, obviously it's going to be huge with the budget gamers and stuff, but it's also going to, you know, budget gamers, families, kids, you know, where you got to beg your parents for a console. Obviously being $300 is very appealing for, you know, the 14, 15, you know, 12-year-old, you know, however old they are, you know, whether they're 10 or 20, who cares? Like, however old you are, you know, begging your parents for a new console, right? We've all been there as a kid, begging our parents for new consoles when they come out, and being able to say, hey, this console is $200 cheaper than the other one. That's very appealing, especially if you don't care about discs. That's the only problem I have with the Series S, is that it doesn't support discs. That's the only problem I have with it. I get why the form factor, plus, you know, it's supposed to be the Game Pass console and everything. I get it. But, like, I still wish that, you know, it had a disc drive. Because then it would be then I would actually consider getting one. Maybe not as a primary console, but at least as a secondary one. But it doesn't have a disc drive, and I want a disc drive for both 4K Blu-rays and games, so Xbox Series X it is. I mean, I would have probably gotten a Series X no matter what anyway, but, like, it's gotta be a Series X now, because it's like, I gotta have that disc drive. But yeah, Series S, man, it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be absolutely huge. I think, actually, like, Series X versus PlayStation 5, I think the PlayStation 5 is gonna win that one. But Xbox Series S versus the PlayStation 5. Now that's going to be a very hotly contested battleground. I think that they're going to be neck and neck, I think. The Series S is going to do extremely well, and it's going to do better than the Series X, easily. I can safely say that without question. The Series S is going to outsell the Series X easily. Not even a question. And the Series S versus the PlayStation 5 is going to be a super, like, interesting battlefield to watch. You know, I'm going to get... I mean, I want all the consoles. Like, I want a Series X, I want a Series S, and I want a PlayStation 5. But, you know, it's still very interesting to watch, you know, how these companies strategize and stuff. Even if I'm not, you know, into the whole... even if I'm not into the... you know, console wars in terms of, like, my console's better, no, my console's better. I'm into the console wars from the business perspective and stuff like that. That stuff is very interesting to me, how, like, yeah, like, the Series S is going to do so well because of how good of a value it is, and how it's super appealing to not only budget gamers, but PS5 gamers, because it's the perfect secondary console. Hey, you can use your PlayStation 5 as your primary console, but you can also, you know, But you can get a Series S for $300, get, you know, Xbox All Access, $25 a month, get Game Pass Ultimate for 2 years, get all that. And you can play not only all the Microsoft games, but you can play, you know, the latest Fallout, you can play Elder Scrolls 6, you can play Starfield. And the games will still look and run great, because the only difference, and this is the other thing that makes the Series S so appealing, is that the Series S is not even that big of a downgrade in terms of resolution. It's only down to 1440p. If it was 1080p, I'd be a bit more skeptical about it, even though I know for a lot of people that'd probably be fine. But being 1440p, or at least that being the target, compared to the 4K, I think that's super appealing, because it means that you're going to get a good resolution while still, you know, being able to be at a good price point, you know? Like, 1440p upscaled to 4K is going to look fine. It's still going to look pretty good, even if it's not as good as 4K. So for $300, getting basically the same experience as the Series X, just at a lower resolution, you know, that's big. But I've already made that whole video talking about it, and I'll probably talk about it in a future video when I do because I'm probably gonna do another video about the Series S, or the whole just kind of Series X, Series S thing in general, when we get closer to launch, and we, you know, can officially just look at see how things go. But yeah. So my plan, I think I've mentioned this on stream before several times, but just in case anyone hasn't heard already. So my plan in terms of the next-gen consoles is PlayStation 5 first, then I'm going to get a Series X probably in 2021, and the way I'm going to do this, by the way, is I already have a PS4 Pro and an Xbox One X, so I'm going to sell those on eBay for like $250 to $300, because that's what they go for right now, at least. And then I can get both a PS5 and a Series X for basically half price. Which is the reason why the whole, oh, is it going to be 400 or 500 thing, that never really mattered for me, because I was already going to be paying a discounted price anyway. And as we all know, both PlayStation 5 and the Series X are the same price. Well, if you ignore the digital-only edition, but you get the point. The main consoles are 500, so it's like 250 each. And of course, if I really wanted to, I could trade in I could sell the One X and get a Series S just immediately at launch if I really wanted to. But of course, I'm not going to do that, because that would technically be it would be an upgrade, but it would also be a downgrade at the same time, because all the backwards compatible games are going to be running at 1440p maximum as well. So it's kind of like that'd be a downgrade from the 4K. I have in 360 games, or at least some 360. Like, for example, Forza Horizon 1 runs at native 4K on Xbox One X, and it looks amazing. Obviously, it's a 360 game, but for a 360 game, it looks really good. And it's a late generation 360 game as well, so... Oh yeah, it goes all the way over here. Although I might... So even though I'm going to be getting a Series X, not a Series S, I might get a Series S later on for the living room. Because my dad has been getting... He used to be into gaming back in the 90s and early 2000s, but then after both me and my brother happened, after we came around, he stopped playing games as much. But then, like, a year or two ago, he got into Breath of the Wild, and he played through all that, including all the DLC. Then he started playing some other games, like, Witcher... Yeah, no, not Witcher 3. I forget the next game he played, but then after that, he played Red Dead Redemption 2, and then... he just finished doing Witcher 3 not that long ago. And now, oh yeah, and he was playing Doom 2016. Yeah, that was the other game I was forgetting. Yeah, he was playing Doom 2016. And he got all the way to the final boss, but then he got stuck on the final boss because he ran out of ammo and he couldn't get any more without having to backtrack all the way. Even then, that didn't really work, so he was just kind of like, you know what, close enough. And then, of course, Doom Eternal came out earlier this year, and of course, Dad was asking me about that. Hey, there's a new Doom game out, you know, is that on Xbox Game Pass? And I was like, no, it's not. But of course, as we all know now, because of this Microsoft acquisition of Bethesda, they've already announced that, yes, we're going to be bringing all the Bethesda titles to Game Pass, and it's starting on October 1st with Doom Eternal, and I've already told him about that, so he's going to be playing Doom Eternal when it comes to Game Pass in October. It's coming out on October 1st, and he's going to start playing it, so that'll be cool. I'll probably be playing it as well, because I haven't played... I still haven't finished Doom 2016 yet, so I should probably finish that before I do Doom Eternal, but yeah. But the point is, he's starting to play games again. You know, it's by no means his primary thing, of course. You know, he's got to work and everything. But, you know, he's been playing games again. He's been playing games again. And I don't want to... And I want to have access to the Series X... actually, no, because the Series X, for starters, probably would not work out there anyway, because... The Series X, with its infamous, you know, refrigerator form factor. Oh, and I thought I was done talking about refrigerators. Well, maybe not quite. With its, you know, infamous refrigerator form factor, would not fit in the spots for consoles and stuff. Whereas, like, the PlayStation 5 will fit in there, I'm pretty sure. And the Series S definitely will, but the Series X most certainly will not. I don't want to have it on the side. So I'm probably going to get a Series S eventually, just for the living room. So for example, me and my brother can play Rivals, because we've been playing Rivals at Aether recently. And, you know, some backwards compatible games. But the main purpose of that would be to be, like, Dad's console, basically. The one he can play his games on from Game Pass. I think that is what is going to be, yeah, the idea there. 78. I'm still missing a decent amount here. So yeah, the idea is I'd have the PlayStation 5 and the Series X, and then we'd have a Series S out in the living room for Dad, and also whenever me and Jordan want to play, like, you know, Rivals or something like that. Or just as, like, you know... Actually, no, it can't be the 4K Blu-ray machine because, well, it doesn't have a Blu-ray drive, so we'd have to drag one of the other consoles out there to play 4K Blu-rays, but the chances of that happening is probably pretty slim. If I ever watch a 4K Blu-ray... Oh, whoa. Okay, I can do that, apparently. If I ever do that, it'll be in my room anyway. Oh, just barely. But, you know, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Or maybe I'll wait for, actually, nah. Well. Okay, here we go. This is what I've been looking for. Oh, darn it. This is going to be kind of a pain to get. I didn't even grab it. There we go. If they ever make a disc drive version of the Series S, which I doubt they're gonna do, but if they ever make a disc drive version of the Series S, then I'll definitely get that. No questions asked. Like, not in place of a Series X, but in addition to it. But chances are, it probably, because okay, as much as I don't want physical media to go away, and I still buy a lot of physical games on Nintendo platforms, I don't have that many physical games on Xbox or PlayStation at this point. Most of them are from, like, in terms of Xbox, most of them are from earlier on in the generation. In terms of PlayStation, it's only recent because I only got a PS4 Pro in 2019. And the main two games I have that matter to me are, I have Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal physically. And that's not changing. I'm getting all of those games physically. So when Scramble finally comes out, that's going to be a physical version easily. But the main thing when it comes to physical games, it's kind of like, whether or not it's worth getting a physical copy for me is dependent on what game it is. One, how much do I value being able to have a physical copy of said game? And more importantly, how much value does having the physical copy in general even have? For example, with Persona 5 and Royal, in 20, 30, 40 years when the servers for online, when Sony shuts down all their servers and none of the online stuff works anymore, those discs will be worth something because the entirety of the game is on those discs. Yeah, I might miss a bug fix here or there, but the entirety of the game is on those discs. They will always work no matter what. Whereas, like, if I bought, say, Call of Duty Modern Warfare on disc, and, you know, I reinstall it 20, 30, 40 years after the fact when the servers are long gone and you can't update the game to its latest version, then I'm going to have a really outdated version of the game that's not relevant anymore. That's the main problem. That's the main problem with physical media, is that it's not you have to get up and move. It's not that. The main problem with the physical media is that for a good amount of games nowadays, that disc is not the entire game. And I'm not talking about, you have a 20 gig, no, I mean, like, I'm not talking about when the game is, quote, incomplete at launch. I'm talking about when the game gets tons of updates. Like, for example, Smash Ultimate, right? That physical cartridge that I have, I'm really glad that I have it, but that physical cartridge is not going to mean too much in the far future when, you know, again, 20, 30, 40 years from now, when the Switch is online servers, and when I say online servers, I'm not talking about being able to play online. I'm talking about, like, the update service, the eShop. Like, you can't update any of your games anymore, and you're stuck with whatever the disc has, or the cartridge has in this case. Yeah, if that ever happens, then I'm going to be stuck with Smash Ultimate version 1.0, assuming I don't have any other way of getting updates, which means I'm not going to have any of the DLC stages, any of the DLC characters. I'm not going to have stage run contest, home run contest, or stage, but like I'm going to be missing a lot of stuff because those were all included in updates, and I can't get those updates anymore. That's the main problem with physical media. It's the fact that with a few exceptions like Persona, or maybe some indie games, when the game you have on the disc is not the entire game, no matter what, whether the game is actually complete on launch and it gets DLC later, or it's one of those games that's, quote, incomplete on launch and it gets like a bunch of DLC to make up for it, the fact is, you're not getting all the content the game has to offer on that disc anymore. Now, here's what would solve this problem, but this would never, ever, 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 ever happen, is if there was an ability to write update data to a CD or, to a disc or a cartridge in the system itself. Like, for example, if there was a button on the Switch OS that said, update cartridge to current version of software, so then I could overwrite the version 1.0 that's on the cartridge with version 8.1, which is the current version at the time of me streaming this. Then I would have the up-to-date version of the game on cartridge forever. Sorry about that. But you can't do that, of course. And you can't burn an update of a game to a disc either. This also applies to Smash Wii U, by the way. You know, when the Wii U's update servers are long dead, you're going to be stuck with version 1.0 with no Mewtwo, no Roy, no Lucas, no Ryu, no Cloud, no Bayonetta, no Korra, none of the DLC stages, none of that stuff. None of the balance updates either, just plain bone stock November 21st, 2014 version 1.0. Which doesn't matter when you can get updates, but it does matter when you can't get updates, as it kind of defeats the purpose of that physical version, because now that physical version is not the entire game. So here's the way I see it. If it's a game like Persona where the game comes out and that's it, there's not really any DLC to speak of. Like, yeah, Persona has, like, the costumes, but they don't have any, like, quote, real DLC. They don't have any story expansions or anything like that, and they don't get big updates. When a Persona game releases, it's done, outside of maybe a couple bug fixes. So that Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal Disc that I have will mean something 20, 30, 40 years from now, assuming that there isn't a PC version or a version on the PlayStation 7 by then. I'll still be even if Sony's servers for PlayStation 4 are completely dead, no online updates, no store, nothing. It's completely offline at that point. Even if that happened, I would still have the entirety of Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal on those discs. The only thing I would miss out on is the DLC costumes, which are not that big a deal at the end of the day. Oh, and also in Persona 5, the original, the Japanese language track is not included on the disc. You have to download it. But in Royal, it's included on the disc, and that's the updated version anyway, so it's not really a big deal. And that's another thing too, is Royal has has all of the Persona 5 DLC too, so that's even more of a reason. So yeah, it's like, okay, I know I'm doing the same thing I did during the, I'm doing the same exact thing I did during the red coin thing in Bianco Hills, where I'm just kind of walking around and talking, because I'm running out of coins to get. That's the problem. Oh my god, I'm so close. Please tell me there's 5 more coins. Please tell me there's 5 more coins. Okay. We're good. I actually wasn't sure if there was going to be enough coins. Thought we were going to have to go to a different mission to get more coins. Which of course requires us to start all over again. But yeah, so I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, basically, games like Persona 5, the physical version means something, but like Battlefield 5 or whatever the current Call of Duty is at the time, having that physical disc doesn't mean anything because it doesn't have all of the updates. It doesn't have all the new stuff that's been added after the fact. So basically, for games that are continually updated, or as it's become known, games as a service, which a lot of people don't like because of how badly that idea has been used by some companies, those games are not really worth getting on physical unless you want like a collector's edition. Just get the digital version, honestly, because there's no real point in having that physical disc. Because once the update servers go down, you're stuck with an outdated version of the game that doesn't have everything. Which I know is better than nothing, but like, you know what I mean. It's... Whereas, like, you know, get Persona 5 Royal or something like that. That's the entirety of the game, and all that game will ever be is on that disc. There's no major updates. There's no story DLC. It's just maybe a couple of bug fixes that you can probably live without, and you still get the entire Persona 5 Royal experience just from that disc completely offline. So I like that Atlas is keeping the traditional motto of, you know, the games, you know, when they release, that is the game. There's not a billion updates and a billion DLCs, even though I'm not poo-pooing DLC by any means. I mean, we all love Smash DLC and stuff like that, but you get my point, right? You know, like when the game gets a ton of story expansions and like the disc you have is not the whole game anymore. Now, we're not actually going to go in here yet, of course. I'm just doing this because reasons. In fact, we're not even going to do that yet. We're going to go over to Bianco Hills for these last few coins, and then we're going to call it a stream, probably. So yeah, oh yeah, I still gotta get this as well, actually. But we're not gonna do that one. We're gonna do this one because this one has all those floating coins. But yeah, so that's kind of my little thing on why, as much as I love physical media and I don't want it to go away, at the end of the day, the advantage of physical media is being eroded by the fact that games are continually updated with DLCs and stuff nowadays. So it kind of makes so the disc you have, no matter what the game, is never the complete version anymore, with the exception of a few cases. Most of Nintendo's single-player games are still pretty much complete. Like Odyssey, yeah, there's the Balloon World update, but that's not a huge deal. Like all of the actual core of Odyssey is still on the cartridge, even if you couldn't get any updates for it. Breath of the Wild is a bit different because Breath of the Wild got 2 expansions, so that's a bit different. That one would definitely take a bit of a hit with updates. And of course, if any of their multiplayer games, like Splatoon wouldn't even really function properly without online anyway. Of course, there's the single player and there's LAN mode and stuff, but the core of Splatoon is the multiplayer anyway, so that one, it kind of doesn't matter too much because the game would be dead without online anyway. And the game's online will be shut down before the updates are. But yeah, for games like Splatoon or ARMS or Smash that had multiple updates and stuff, like, yeah. So Nintendo's not perfect in that regard either, but I guess you could also argue that, well, the game, like, here's the thing though, is that even for Nintendo's games, the updates will always be around no matter what because people save them, they archive them on their computers. So chances are, here's what's going to probably happen. So in the long distant future, when Nintendo shuts down all of their stuff for Switch, you can't even update games anymore. It's just like everything is completely offline. It's a completely offline console. Nothing. No eShop, no updating games, none of that. Completely offline. How do you unlock? How do you get DLC? How do you get updates? Here's what is probably going to happen in the case of at least Nintendo. I don't know what's going to happen for PlayStation or Xbox, but at least for the Switch and Nintendo consoles in general, since they tend to be a lot more hacked and moddable than others, someone will probably make a utility that allows you to patch the game on the Switch, and they'll let you download updates like on like a website. You put them on your SD card, and then you like just load up some utility, some like hacked utility that someone makes in like Homebrew, and then they'll install that update to your Switch, and then that's how you get updates. And they'll probably make it so that it just unlocks. So like, because obviously, just because you get an update doesn't mean you get all the DLC. That just means you have the update. If you want the DLC, you'd have to go to the eShop and buy it. So I'm sure they'll make something that lets you basically crack the game and let you it'll just unlock all the DLC for free anyway. Because at that point, at that point, and that far in the future, when there's literally no legal way of buying the DLC anymore, at that point, I think it's completely fair to just hack it in or crack it. I think it's completely fair at that point because you can't buy it legally anymore. I'm definitely of the opinion that it's perfectly okay to hack or pirate or whatever something if you cannot get it legally. I'm not going to sit here and poo-poo emulators or anything because I love emulators, but I'm just saying this as an example, you know? Like, in, 30 years from now when you can't get any of the Smash updates anymore, pirating the DLC at that point is perfectly fair, because you can't get it legitimately anymore. Plus, it's like, 30 years old, who cares, right? Yeah, no one would probably even care at that point anyway. Like, no one's gonna get on your case for pirating 30-year-old DLC. Like, no one's gonna care at that point. I wouldn't. Besides that point, we'll be on, like, Smash 50 or whatever. Ah! I'm getting the Super Mario 64 right there. I don't think those count as... Yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't. Do these count as 2 coins like they do in 64? They don't count as any coins! Great! That does not help. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, what? I didn't want to go all the way down? Yay, I'm all the way down here. Let's go down here, actually. Yeah, I feel like at this point, though, it's kind of like... Okay, here's the one thing I can say about physical media, though. Is that physical media, I think, is going to stick around on the Nintendo systems for like at least one more generation after PlayStation and Xbox drop them. Why? Because of the very thing that people complain about a lot with Nintendo, but in this particular case, it's actually going to be the thing that helps them, depending if you care about physical media. So we all know how Nintendo has a reputation for being stuck in the past, and in some regards they definitely are online. But one thing about their stuck in the past mentality that definitely will be good is that I think because of that stuck in the past mentality, plus the fact that they still sell an insane amount of physical copies of their games compared to other publishers, I think they're gonna run physical media into the ground, so to speak. Like, they're gonna run physical media for as long as possible. Especially if they're gonna stick if from now on they just do the hybrid handhelds that have cartridges, then it's like, why not do physical media? It's so small, it's like, why not include it? But like the actual like thing itself, it's not taking up that much space in the system. Whereas, like, you know, like on the PlayStation 5, for example, it really does kind of feel like Sony designed the PlayStation 5 without the disc drive in mind, and then they tacked it on later when they were like, oh crap, we need a disc drive in this thing, because people still buy games on discs, apparently. Whereas, like, the Series X, that looks like it was designed with it from the, you know, the entire time. And the Series S was obviously designed for it without it. It's just kind of like weird how, yeah, the PlayStation 5, the main version of it, looks like it's the secondary one when you look at how weird that disc drive is just kind of slapped onto it, whereas like the digital edition actually looks pretty good. But, you know, whatever, people have already kind of talked about that already. But honestly, I think the biggest threat physical games have isn't even really digital game sales. It's stuff like Game Pass. It's like, why should I buy, you know, the next Doom game when I can just get it on Game Pass? You know, like, why should I buy a physical copy of it? Like, why should I buy a copy of it at all if it's on Game Pass? Although, of course, people are already predicting the, you know, apocalyptic future where everything is a subscription. You can't own any games anymore. I don't think that's ever gonna truly happen, but obviously we'll see. But I don't think that apocalyptic future that people are predicting is really gonna happen, or at least not the level that they're making it out to be. Although here's the yeah, it's not gonna happen. I just can't see it. Although Game Pass is awesome. Is very much awesome. I've had it since 2017 when it originally launched. I'm still very happy with it. So here's a question I have. Does going in the secret level reset the coin counter? My prediction is that it does. Which is why I'm not going to go in there until I absolutely have to. Whoops. You know something I think is kind of funny though, involving subscriptions, is I remember seeing a video recently talking about what if Nintendo did their version of Xbox Game Pass, and like, okay, first things first, I wouldn't want them to do that because I don't want Game Pass to, because okay, here's the one thing that does worry me about Game Pass. It's not everything's gonna be on a subscription. That's not the problem I'm worried about. I'm worried about developers not making their games as good because they don't have to sell a game anymore. They just have to keep the subscription payment going. That's why I don't want that to happen. And while that hasn't happened with Game Pass yet, really, it is something that I am a bit concerned about, and I wouldn't want that to happen to Nintendo. Like, I wouldn't want Nintendo to put microtransactions and other nonsense in their games because, hey, we don't have to, because we gotta monetize these games somehow because they're all on our Game Pass equivalent service. I don't want that, and so for that reason alone, I do not want to see microtransactions ever show up in a Nintendo console title ever. And while I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon, I still am wary of it. Because you never know. You never know. Because yes, there's obviously nonsense going on with Mario Kart Tour, but that's a mobile game, and mobile games have kind of always been like that. And it's kind of like, who cares? It's a mobile game. Plus, the main purpose of the mobile games is to fund the console titles. So it's kind of like, if Mario Kart Tour has to be the way it is just for us to get Odyssey and Breath of the Wild and stuff, then you know what, so be it. That's fine with me. I can sacrifice Mario Kart Tour at the altar of all the other games being good, and also all the other games not having microtransactions. Like, that's the one thing, is it's like, Nintendo also doesn't have to do that because their mobile games are doing that for them. Say what you will about that, but I think we can all agree that we'd much rather the mobile games be infested with microtransactions than the console ones. Because we can ignore the mobile games and just kind of be like, whatever. But we can't ignore the console games. We can't skip a console game. We can't, quote, boycott. Not that that would happen anyway. Like, the whole idea of boycotting a game is kind of stupid because it literally never works. You're just wasting time. If it worked, fine, I guess, but it doesn't ever work, so you're literally just wasting your time. Name one time where a boycott of a game has done anything. There have been several boycott this game scenarios in the last couple of years. And how many of them have done literally anything? How many of them have been successful? Literally none of them. Fallout 76, Pokemon Sword and Shield, none of them have worked. None of them have worked because the fact is the general public doesn't care. I'm not saying that you have to like that fact, I'm just saying that the general public doesn't care. If they enjoy the game, that's all that matters to them. And they are the ones that provide the majority of the sales. So you have to get the general consumer, the general public that doesn't follow a billion news pages 24/7 and doesn't follow a billion YouTube channels 24/7. The casual, regular person. You have to get them to care. If you can get them to boycott, then maybe a boycott would actually have an effect. But until you can get them to actually boycott instead of just a bunch of people on Twitter or whatever, it's not gonna work. I'm just saying. That's the reality of the situation, whether you like it or not. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna ever get microtransactions in a Nintendo console title. And yeah, I know there's like the Super Kirby, what's it called? Super Kirby Clash. Yeah, but it's like a one-off, and it's like no one really cares. No one really cares if there's like microtransactions in a game like that. It's only when they put microtransactions in the big games that's gonna be like once we see microtransactions in Splatoon or like a real Mario or a real Zelda, like stuff like that. Like if Breath of the Wild 2 had microtransactions, people would flip the hell out. You know, I would. Well, maybe not quite that, but I would not be happy with that at all, and you wouldn't be either. But again, it's like, you can't really, quote, fight the power, as some people might say, because it doesn't matter. If the game could have microtransactions, we're all still gonna buy it, because it's still Breath of the Wild 2. So it's kind of like, that's the main reason why I'm so worried. Like, it's because if, a huge emphasis on the if Nintendo ever puts microtransactions in any of their big titles, we're gonna be stuck with them. Because no matter how much people complain, they're not going to go away. Because the games are still going to sell well, because they're still going to be good games. And there's still going to be the next 3D Mario, the next 3D Zelda, we're still going to have to buy them. So that's why it's kind of like we're going to be trapped with them unless, like, Congress outlaws microtransactions or something. We're going to be stuck with them, but at the end of the day, I really do believe Nintendo when they say we're not going to do microtransactions. I actually do believe them, because up to this point, they haven't. In any of their main console titles, at least. Yeah, there's Super Kirby Clash, and there's all the mobile games, but the vast majority of Nintendo titles are still no microtransactions. The only monetization they have is just DLC. And most of their DLC is good, and reasonably priced, so... Not saying all of them are, but I'm just saying, most of their DLC is good and reasonably priced. I know there was some shenanigans regarding, I believe it was Fire Emblem Shadows of Valentia, or something going on with that, but for the most part, all their DLC has been good and has been reasonably priced. We haven't had any $60 season passes like we've had in years gone by, when like every game on the planet from like Activision or EA or Ubisoft had $60 season passes. Although, in some ways, I kind of prefer that to the games as a service model that we have nowadays, where everything is slow to roll out and it's more buggy. Say what you will about spending $60 for a season pass, but at least you get all that content in a reasonable time frame. I know there's people out there that really wish that Battlefield would abandon the live service format that happened with 5 and they would just go back to doing premium. And honestly, I kind of wish they would as well, because with premium, you got a constant slew of new content, and there was a lot of it. Whereas it's a lot more unstable in the newer, in like Battlefield 5, for example. Like, if I have to pick between microtransactions and loot boxes, or just having a $60 season pass, I will take that $60 season pass every single time. because at least you get exactly what you're paying for, and you actually get like a lot of stuff instead of having to pay, you know, $20 for one skin. Like, who does that? Who pays $20 for one skin? That's ridiculous. Now, I'm not one of those people that's all like, Fortnite bad. Like, I don't really have any problems with Fortnite. Like, I don't play it or anything, but, like, I don't have any problems with it. Like, you know, it's a game. It exists. It's like, whatever. If you like the game, you like the game. If you don't like the game, you don't like the game. But I feel like too many people act like it's the worst thing ever. But here's one thing about Fortnite I don't like. The, like, $20 skins, like, on, like, the V-Bucks, all that stuff. Like the equivalent of, like, $20 skins. I don't care if premium or epic or whatever, however rare it is. No one should be paying $20 for one skin. The one thing Fortnite has going for it, though, is that it's free to play. If it was a $60 game, that would cause a lot more outroar. But because it's, you know, it's free to play. Like, that's the thing. If you're a free to play game, microtransactions don't, like, that's a lot more reasonable because you gotta pay the bills somehow. But don't put them in your $60 games. And if you really want to have microtransactions, just make the game free to play. Like, seriously, Activision, I'm talking to you. Why just make Black Ops Cold War free to play? Just straight up, just make the multiplayer free to play. I know you made Warzone free to play with Modern Warfare, but, like, legit, just make the multiplayer free to play. Then you can do all of the microtransactions you want, and it won't matter as much. Okay, I still don't want them. I want to make that crystal clear. I don't want microtransactions, but you get my point, right? Like, it's a lot more justifiable when the game is free to play. But we all know they're gonna keep charging for it because that's what they're gonna do. Heck, this whole debate about the whole $70 price tag thing for some of the newer games wouldn't even be a problem if they just wouldn't do the microtransactions. If the games were the way they were 10 years ago or whatever, where outside of some DLC, the game was there wasn't microtransactions or loot boxes or any recurring revenue type stuff. If none of that stuff existed and we just had regular DLCs, I don't think that many people would be complaining about the price increase, because it'd be like, hey, game development, because that's the main argument, right? Is the game development costs thing. I think that would be a completely fair argument if there weren't all these intrusive microtransactions that are providing billions with a B dollars of revenue to these companies every year. I'm not even, like, I think it was I think this was like last year. I think I saw something that's like, oh, Activision or I forget which one it was, you know, either one works. Activision or EA made $5 billion in microtransactions in like a year or something like that. Like, that's how much money these freaking things make. They make more than the game will ever make on its own. That's why they do them, of course. But if you're gonna do that, make the game free to play. If you're gonna actually charge people $60, $70 for something, have it, you know, be worth that $60 or $70. If you're gonna put a bunch of microtransactions and stuff in it, then make it free to play, so it's a lot more so then it's like, oh, the game's free to play. I mean, it still shouldn't be that intrusive, but you get the point, right? Okay, I've been streaming for we've just passed the 3-hour mark. I've been searching for coins for quite a while, but we're almost there. Yeah, there's a blue coin over here. You know, it doesn't gain us anything as far as regular coins go. It's like, why not grab it at this point? I think another reason why Nintendo's not going to do microtransactions in any other big games is because of the fact that they're from Japan. Which might sound kind of weird, but honestly, Nintendo being a Japanese company is such a blessing right now, because if they were an American one, I guarantee you their games would have microtransactions in them. Well, again, they're big ones, like, you know, the type that Activision and EA do. Those kind of microtransactions would probably be in the game, at least in some form, if they were a Western company, but because they're a Japanese company, they don't do that. That's the thing, is most Japanese developers don't do microtransactions, which is one of the reasons why. I mean, honestly, I've always kind of preferred. I mean, obviously Nintendo's my favorite developer, but even outside of that, just like Japanese developers in general just seem to be a lot better when it comes to that stuff. Yeah, there's obviously, you know, they're not flawless, obviously, but like they don't do microtransactions, they don't do loot boxes, they don't do any of that stuff in their console games. Yeah, there's all those gacha games on mobile, but again, they keep their microtransaction stuff restricted to mobile, not the consoles. That's what it should be. Have mobile be your platform that you make billions on and you do random nonsense, and just have the console games be good, because the console games are the ones that people care about the most. Like, for example, you know, Capcom, Sega, you know, Square Enix, even though Square Enix has obviously has had controversy over the last couple of years, but none of them have done microtransactions in any of their main games. They have just done free updates and paid DLC. That's it. Just like Nintendo, just like things used to be in the past over here in the West. I'm not saying every Western developer does microtransaction-filled games. I'm not saying that. But like, all the big games do, or at least a lot of the big games do. One more coin. One more coin. Oops. I would have gotten shredded right there if that was real life. But yeah. I'm so glad Japanese companies are not doing microtransactions. It just makes me like their games even more. I will gladly pay for all that regular DLC if it means we get no microtransactions. Like, seriously. I also like that all of Sony's first-party games, even the ones that are made in the West, which is most of them these days, they also don't have microtransactions or loot boxes or any of that stuff, since a lot of them are single-player focused. And because of that, you know, the game releases and, yeah, there might be a free update here or there, but the game, like, that's the game, you know? That's the game! Reference to Wii Sports right there. You know? Not saying I'd be against to expand. Like, I'm sure people out there would love to have an expansion for Ghost of Tsushima, or The Last of Us Part 2. Well, maybe. It depends if you like The Last of Us Part 2, because we all know how controversial that game is. Yeah, just you know, no microtransactions. Moral of the story, moral of this whole like 20-minute long conversation / rant / whatever I've been having here is this. Hold on, wrong mission. The moral of the story here is this. Don't put microtransactions in your games, just do free updates and paid DLC. Like Nintendo does, like a lot of the Japanese developers do. Just do that. If you gotta have your microtransactions, put them in a mobile game. Because if you put it in a mobile game, no one will really care. Like, obviously people will complain about it, but like, people can like let that slide because it's like, it's a mobile game, who cares? Because you can skip mobile games, they're not important, you know? We're gonna go ahead here and get this last red coin. And then we are going to call it for this 3-hour stream. And I will upload this sometime tomorrow, or today, since it's 1:57 a.m. now. I don't know if I'm going to include timestamps or not. I included timestamps with the 64 videos, so I'll probably do it here. There probably won't be as many, though, since we haven't gone to nearly as many places. But we'll see. But it will be uploaded sometime tomorrow, most likely. That beep sound. Well, I tried. That beep sound is just weird. Oh! 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 The tree isn't there for some reason. It's probably just because it's not, yeah, it's not rendered in yet. That's kind of weird. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at our star count. Yay, laggy menu. Wait, what? I'm confused. Why does it say I'm missing one? I thought I did the other one. Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't, actually. Wait! Actually, no. Is it because I didn't grab the... hold on. No, because there's still one missing anyway. I'll go check. There might be a missing one just because I haven't gotten the first one yet. Ah! Boop. Oh no! How am I doing that weird move? Yeah, I'm not gonna even bother with the block this time. Okay. The tree's there this time. I'm not sure why it wasn't there on the other one. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and get this first one out of the way, and then we're gonna call it a stream. Oh yeah, wait, now can I use this? Oh, not yet. Maybe it's just talking about how I can't use it for this level. Just had to do that so I can get that guy to not attack me. Oh my god, I can't do the thing! Oh, whatever, it's gonna clean itself up anyway. $25, a nice number to leave off on. And now we should be good, right? Laggy menu. What? What? Oh, right, because I can't do the Yoshi one yet. Okay, so we're mostly there, of course. So, anyways, that's gonna call it for tonight, I guess. I kind of went on a couple of little discussions here. some of them you may classify as a rant, although that wasn't really my intent. I just wanted, you know, find something to talk about, so it's not just me sitting here playing the game the whole time to make it more interesting. But anyways, that's gonna be our stream for the night. It is 2:06 a.m. here on the Pacific Coast. I think it's safe to say that it's time for us to go to bed, and we will come back to this some other time. Don't know when. Maybe it'll be tomorrow. Maybe it'll be the day after. As I said earlier, I'm gonna work on that new video. We'll see, but we will continue our adventure sometime in the future. Hopefully, it won't be too long from now. Anyways, actually, hold on. Before we do that. Okay, I just want to exit back out to the menu first. What's on? Oh yeah, there's the new Hyrule Warriors trailer. Okay, anyways, enough about that. So anyways, this is Logan589XP. Now we'll see you guys next time.
comfy.